That's what I want. People read, right? People join, they see, and
Yeah,
they
I
read.
read this topics and I feel I wanted to discuss these topics with you if you are interested.
That's a weird question. I created the room by myself, so that means I'm interested in, right?
Okay, okay. So, where are you from, first of all?
Oh, here we come. You also need introduction. I'm from heaven. What about you?
Okay, I'm from I'm from Earth.
You're from Earth. Cool. That's enough.
I think
Hi,
on Earth, hell and heaven are
hi,
here.
hi.
And hell and heaven are what?
Heaven and hell is also present on the Earth.
I
Guys,
don't agree with
I
that.
I googled Earth country, but I didn't find it. Where is it, guys?
I'm media man.
Hello, people. Nice to meet you all.
It was nice to. It was not nice to meet you. You
You
just
too.
interrupted immediately, and that was not
So,
nice.
uh, first topic. Choose first topic which we
It's
are
up to
going
you.
to discuss here.
You can choose. There are many topics there, and you're free to choose any of
Okay,
them.
actually, still, okay, okay, okay. God. Okay.
Hmm.
So, what do you want to say about God? What is God?
What is God? God is a creator of this universe in many religions. He's very powerful, very
He is
intelligent.
only creator.
I
He is
said
only creator.
the creator.
Okay, he is only creator.
Is it your question or you're
You
making a
say
statement?
God is creator. So I want to know that okay, God is only creator.
I don't know, but maybe there are many creators.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, well,
I
what
think
about you?
God is uh, you are right. God is creator also, but God is feel also.
God is what?
Feel,
Phil? Like my name?
feel. FEEL.
Feel. Feel.
Yeah,
Well, what does it
we
mean?
can feel God.
Oh, you can feel God.
We can feel God.
Okay, that's not how you define something. So, like
Sometimes,
what is a phone? Oh, phone is a device, blah, blah. Oh, and you know what? We can see the phone. Oh, really? Yeah, yeah, we can see, but it's so unnecessary to say that we can see the phone while you're trying to explain what is a phone. So, God is what for you? You see, you make love, you feel, I don't care. That's a side topic. We can discuss about that, but that's not the topic right now. So,
I
what is
feel
God?
actually, I feel when I am so sad, I'm really near to God. So I want sometime I wanted to say to God, please create some I couldn't able to explain. Create some sadness for me because when in my life sad things are in my life, so I am really near to my God.
You keep speaking about your feelings. I think you don't understand what I'm saying. I said, let's set aside your feelings. This is a side topic, okay?
Okay,
What is God in the first place? You have to mention about that part because that was your question. Now, it was not even my question. You said, what is God? And I answered, and now it's your turn.
okay. Mm, I think God is feel.
God is
If
feel.
you do not feel about yes, if
That
you do
doesn't
not
make any
feel
sense. What is phone? Oh, the phone is C. C. Oh, what
okay,
is phone? Oh, it is C. Uh,
See,
Do you see that? It doesn't make any sense.
see, what is see?
What
She's
is
saying see,
feel?
not, not. It's a feel.
Anyway, that's not going well.
Okay, you're talking about this topic. God is still. It doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah,
according to my according to my belief, I hope that God is something to believe. That to make a believe on that there is a existence of a supreme power who is controlling our uh, ourselves, and this is all about. So I think that God is something to believe.
that is something to believe.
Deepak, I interrupt your
Again, like,
thing. Actually, if
first
we
of
do
all,
not believe on God, so
first of
God is
all, first of all, first of all, first of all. Yeah, first of all, we have to define what is a god, and then we can talk about, oh, this is what people believe. So again, this is also a side topic. But you already defined God, right? When you started speaking, you defined the God, and then you said, oh, this is what people believe, right? But you didn't have to even emphasize that part. Okay, well, people, yeah, people definitely believe a God exists. But that doesn't mean there's no God. Maybe there's something like that and people believe in that. Or maybe there's no such a thing, but people still believe that there is such a thing. But again, those were side topics. But anyway, so God is feel. What a useless answer. Why are you raising your hand? You're saying hello? You're saying hello with your hand? Okay, I think hello and hello. Okay, to me that seems a very hello. Peak pump.
Hey guys, I have a question.
Okay, man. You had the mic.
Okay. Yeah. So my first question is, do human beings have limitations on their
I think
thinking abilities and their brain and their
all the thinking
um
abilities.
mhm,
I think we have a lot of
like
limitations.
I mean, if our brains cannot visualize or we cannot reach that limit of thinking and like getting the conclusions about the existence of God, if we can't reach that doesn't mean there is no God, you
Well,
know?
no one said there's not, and I already said, just because people believe in something, that doesn't mean it is just an imagination. Maybe there is such a thing, but again, it goes in the same way. Just because people believe in something, it doesn't mean it exists. Also, how to decide something exists or not?
Yeah, exactly. So that I think also this is based on some religious thoughts. Some yeah, religious people they based their belief in God based on some maybe books they have, some messengers or whatever they. I mean, this is how they explain it. They don't say they don't they are not convinced like God, there is God by thinking. Oh, no, but based on some evidence, based on some books. So I think this is how people think about the existence of God.
Oh, and like let me add something more. I don't think that anyone starts with the book. People are just born in a religion, in a religious family, and they become religious automatically, like the way that you learn your native tongue. They learn the religion, so they learn about the books later on.
You mean like people felt there is superpower, like,
People what?
and then people felt there is superpower that I mean, people think about themselves like, hey, like just out of sudden I'm here, I'm on this life. Like, what's the reason behind this?
Sure, people
If you
think
think
about
about
that,
it,
but not all. So, like, look at the believers that you know. Okay, do you think that they started thinking deeply and they said, "Oh, wait a second, there must be a God. Oh, now I believe in a God." It wasn't like that, right? It wasn't like that. It is like that for some people, but not for all people. The majority of the people, they automatically accept that there's a God. Why? Because their fathers, mothers told so. They don't even think about that. Sure, Jim, carry on. Oh, he left. Okay, weird. He had the mic. Okay. I also some questions to ask. I have. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Let's give the mic. Oh, that's the same girl, right? God is feel. God is feel. Phone is C.
Okay, would you like to ask any question regarding this?
Oh, sure. Depends on the person. Like, for example, do you believe a God exists?
Sorry.
Do you believe a God exists?
Yes, I do believe.
Okay, which God exists, you think?
As I was born in Hindu religion, so according to my belief, so I believe on Hindu scripture, and I started believing, seeing my mother and father are worshipping, and they teach me to believe on that. That's why I believed. But I felt when I was in class, I started thinking about that. What the term is God and how do it affect in our life? Then I thought that. Human being has a limitation. We cannot do anything whatever we want, but we can do what we try. So, but according to our might or any religious scripture, that God exists actually, because if there is no God, there is no spirit, there is no control. How the universe is on the lane, and how everything is going well without any
Okay,
interruption.
let me interrupt here. We need interruptions, okay?
Okay.
So, like, this is a basic logical mistake that you're committing right now. It's you have questions, you don't know the answer, and you're saying, "Oh, wait, I have an opinion here. God, it must be God, and it solves all the problems." But that doesn't necessarily mean it's true, okay? So, first of all, why are you
So,
assuming that the universe needs to be controlled by someone? Universe cannot
okay.
exist by itself?
Okay. So, how do you think that there is no God,
That's not
according
what
to
I
you?
think. No, 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 that's not what I think. I don't know whether God exists or not. But the question is,
But
you're assuming that
uh, I
universe
got it.
cannot exist
I
without a
sorry, I got it.
controller.
Yes, I got it. Your question, but we know that we didn't invent something. That how did everything be controlled by anything? So we don't know how everything is going. So
You don't know how everything is
as
going. Yeah, that's a question. You don't know the answer. So you shouldn't assume the answer. Okay. I can also assume the answer. I can say that there are just seven gods. Okay. That they are doing
mm,
every stuff. Okay. And someone can say, wait a
mm.
second, you're wrong. There's only one God who's doing all this stuff. Oh, wait a second. Okay. This is also belief. But do you think like both of us correct? No, right? Well, one of us definitely must be false, at least one of us. Or maybe we are
Yes, this
both
is the point.
wrong, right?
Yes,
So,
this is a exact main point, and this is a burning question as well.
yeah,
You know that
exactly.
there are.
That's why when you have a question and you don't know the answer, you should just stop.
Yes. So we know that there are a lot of religions existing in this world, and any of them we can believe that. According to my, as I was born in a Hindu family, so I can say that only one God exists in this world is Lord Krishna, and those who are from Muslim family, they can think that there is only God except Allah, and on the other hand. According to Buddhism, Christianism, so blah blah blah. So they can think that only one thing, but we can think that only one. But when we exist in this world, so all of the people around the world, we can take one God. But according to different religions, there are a lot of gods acclamation. So how
Yeah,
do you believe
which
that one
religion?
God exists in this world?
Yeah, which religion is true in that case? Like the ones who say there's only one God, or the ones who say there are many gods?
So my question is, do you believe on God?
Stop, man. This is not a cool conversation, okay? My question was so clear. How do you know which one is true? Answer.
Okay, I don't know about it.
Yeah, and that's what I said. If you have a question, if you don't know the answer, you should stop there, okay? But you didn't stop
Okay.
there. You said, wait a second, I have an answer. One God created everything. This is my answer, okay? But what about the other answers? Maybe the correct answer is out there. Maybe your answer is false. You don't know that.
Okay.
The problem. Okay. So the universe is perfectly fine tuned for life. Are you sure? What if it's perfectly fine tuned for shit? Maybe that was the whole purpose of a creator, of some creators. Maybe their only plan was to create the shit. Or what if their only purpose was to create black holes? Maybe that was the whole purpose. And you were saying design requires a designer. First of all, how do you know that this universe has been designed? No, it's not. DNA is not a clear signature. And I can say God's existence is also a clear signature that there's another God. Probably you think that God is perfect. If not you, many people think that God is perfect. And I can say, oh, like this is really fine tuned to create such an powerful, intelligent creator that has been designed. Whereas the others will look at the God because it's perfectly fine tuned. Those are questions. Again, I was just trying to teach. Asking questions don't mean you have the answers, okay? Or doesn't mean you're saying something true. It's just those are questions. Where it comes from, where God comes from. I can ask the same questions, but it doesn't mean anything.
There is no answer of that.
Yeah, and as I said, if you don't find an answer, you just stop there. And they ask you about the soul. Say the soul is by the command of my Lord. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. It's just a verse. I can create a verse which says, oh, they ask you about unicorns. Say, unicorns are the command of other big unicorns. Oh, now it means there are big unicorns and small unicorns? No. Speak up on mic. I wish he was speaking. Yeah. If there's no God, life has no purpose. But who said that life must have a purpose? There's no such a rule. Morality is relative. I think it is relative, but mostly it's human centered. So that's kind of going with what we need, what we want. So love, justice, right and wrong become opinions. They are. They are opinions. Oh, someone keeps asking about Osho. Okay. Belief in God gives purpose, meaning, and hope. Well, I also have hope and purposes. Um, But I don't believe a God exists, so I don't need a God to have a purpose in this life. And I think my life is a real human life too. But as you see, you don't need a God, or at least belief in God. You don't need that.
So, what I'm getting from you, philosopher,
What are you
that
getting?
yeah, like there is 50-50% that there could be a God and there could be maybe life after this life, and there is
For
another
me, it's not
50%. Let
50-50.
me complete. Let me complete,
No, you
please.
no. You said something
Like,
wrong. That's why I'm
no, no.
interrupting.
I have
When you
the
say
right
no,
to
no,
complete.
when you say no, okay, you keep emphasizing that I'm saying something wrong, and I will keep saying something
I
wrong. That's
Yeah,
not cool.
but
Okay,
you have the right to defend what you want
I
to say.
have to
It's okay.
right to correct your mistakes.
No, after I finish, you
Yes.
have the right. Yes,
No,
but
no,
not to
no.
interrupt
You're
me.
not deciding the rules in this room. Okay.
Yeah, but this is a debate. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't
this
work
is
this
just a
way. You
discussion.
you
It
can
works like
force
this in
your
this room.
if you want to force your opinions,
No,
then
I'm
the need for
not.
discussion.
I'm not forcing
You're
any
not
opinions
listening. You're
here.
not listening.
I'm listening carefully. I was listening carefully all the people
You
so far.
interrupted me. You
Yeah, I
interrupted
just
me.
interrupt you, and you don't have to lie about I'm not listening other
I'm not
people.
lying.
I'm
I'm
not
telling my
listening you
opinion.
because you said something wrong. That's why I interrupted. You don't need to lie
Still,
about
still,
other things.
you don't have to stop me. Like, you have to
No,
listen, then you can
no,
correct
that's
it.
what
No
I
issue.
want, and I want to correct you immediately. Why you have an
No,
issue
that's
with
not
that?
right.
Okay, then like how it will work based on what you wish or based on what I wish.
Mm, no, I felt okay. Then this is not the debate that I
It's
want
up
to go
to
through.
you. It's up to you. You're free. No one is forcing anyone here. Yeah, but at least let's make it clear for other people. It's not 50-50 for me. I lean towards hard atheism. I'm not a hard atheist, but I lean towards hard atheism. If, like, on a scale to 1 to 10, I think there's no God like on point 7. So it's like, let's say 70% I'm an atheist. It's not 50-50. Anyway, he didn't want to continue because he became so upset that I wanted to correct his mistake. God. The last person who doesn't have a mic. Deepak. Do you believe
Hey,
your mind is just chemicals?
Mike, so do you believe that we are all gods?
I don't believe in that.
Okay, brother, I have a question.
The one in the chat box or another question?
Regarding this,
This was different and that person is different. No one.
Oh, okay, sorry. It's both are brown, so okay, Deepak, what is your question then?
okay, what do you believe? Is there only one
I
God?
think he's intellectual guy.
Why you're interrupting him?
So what is your uh, opinion according to that?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your question because he interrupted.
Okay, my question is, do you believe on one God?
I don't believe in God
Why?
because I don't see good evidence to believe in God.
So what type of belief do you want to that you'll believe or interest to believe?
You mean what type of evidence?
Yes, what type of evidence?
Oh, yeah, and evidence that I can check it right now.
So I think that if you don't have any belief on God, so you may give me another reason why you don't believe on God.
I already gave you
If
the reason. The reason is I don't see good evidence to believe a God exists. I want to believe in God when there is enough evidence. Okay, here's the thing: how people believe in God, They read a book. The book says there's a God and people believe in it. Or people say that, oh, you know what, there's a God and they believe in the God. Okay? That's how it works. And I don't want to
So
believe in
bro, if
something, at least
you
I
like
don't
you
want to
said,
believe in. Man, you're interrupting too much.
yeah, sorry.
Okay, I will finish it and you will have a chance to ask
Yeah,
question,
I'm
okay?
saying like you say, like these books
Okay.
are written by
My
human.
God, you're so annoying. I even forgot what I was saying.
Okay, keep on.
Um, I just forgot. But anyway, do you want to say something more? No? Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay, I say most likely they're all written by humans because, like, who the hell can write a book except humans? That's the only evidence that we have, right? I have never seen any monkey, any tiger, any bird writing a book before. All our books are printed in, special places, printed by humans, and they're all written by humans. Oh, you can say, oh, well, what about AI? I can write books right now. Okay, that is something else, something new. But like it's very new, and we created AI, and it's something different. But if you put aside those books created by AI, rest of them are all created by humans. Why I believe in that? Because I don't see any good evidence that it can be written by another thing.
So, regarding your point, I have a question.
Okay.
So, just one thing. Imagine one thing that you do you believe that you have a soul?
I don't believe.
So, why the body has been left after our dying, and why we go after left this body? Can you
Sorry,
know?
sorry.
Sorry.
Ask the question again.
So my question is, when you die, why you die?
Why I die? Well, my body stops working.
Sorry.
My body stops working.
So your body, if there is no soul in you, so how your body circle function?
Circle function?
How your body function? That means you are doing everything. You are alive. But when
There
the
are
soul is left,
necessary parts that makes the body work. That's why it's working. But that doesn't mean they can work all the time. Sometimes things can be broken, and then it stops working.
stop working. So yeah, my actual question is, how does it work?
Well, like that's a
Do you-
deep question about biology. I'm not a biologist. I can't give you good answers about that. It is
It's
about
not biological
biology.
question.
It is
No,
a
no, no.
biological
It's not.
question. How the body
So
functions is a biological question, man.
okay. If so, then after we die,
Uh huh.
why, why, why we are not alive?
Because we died. What a stupid
Who-
question is that? After we
Yes,
die, why we are not alive? Because we died, man.
we die means our soul has left our body.
And
That's
that's
why
what you
we die.
believe. I don't believe in the soul, as I said before.
So if you don't believe so, after you die, your body and soul
I don't believe in
would go
soul.
in. Oh, you don't may believe, but you may hear my arguments about that.
Oh, okay. Why we don't see the soul? If there is soul, and if you
Yes,
die,
yes,
if you
yes,
die,
yes.
still the soul exists. Where's the soul? We why we never see any soul?
Okay, according to our religion belief, we cannot see the soul, but we can feel.
Oh, okay. But that's not a good argument, right? If I claim to feel two invisible, let's say aliens right now, if I claim
This
that,
is
that means it's true? No, right?
so my question is, if you can answer my question, then I will believe that there is no God.
You will believe that. I'm not trying to prove that there is no God. That's not my claim, even. I didn't claim that.
Yes, you didn't claim, but why don't you believe about existing God?
Why I don't believe in existing God? Because I answered this question. Because I don't see good evidence for it.
Good evidence. Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Good evidence. So, do you know that the human has a limitation
Yeah,
or not?
yeah, sure. We have limitations, a lot of limitations. Yeah.
So, if we have limitation, we can feel the God.
What?
If we have limitation, then we can depend on God. That there is a supreme powerful person
What do you mean
controlling.
depend?
We may depend or believe.
Sure, you can believe. You can believe in whatever you want, man. You can believe in whatever you want. I don't care. But
Okay, you
but uh,
don't
but
care. So,
again, you do you know that people believe in many different things? You know that, right?
yes, yes.
Do you think that everyone on this planet who believes in something, they believe in the correct things? All of them, without any exception. So if someone believes that his shit has a soul and that soul also goes to another place, or imagine that there are some people who believe that they come back to this life as an another human, not even animal. This is another belief, okay? Or some people believe that they come to this planet as a human, as an animal, or some people believe that they go to an eternal hell heaven. Some people believe in many gods. Some people believe in three gods. Some people believe in two gods. Some believe in one. So you see that all there are all those beliefs. Do you think that they all can be correct at the same time?
Yes, they not be corrected, but
They cannot be, right? So they cannot be correct all of them at the same time, right?
yes, all of
So then
them.
logic says that many of the claims must be, many of the beliefs must be false. Many of them.
You may think so.
That's logical, right? You just said that they can't be true, right? All of them. That's what you think also. It's not what I think only. So that shows that just because you believe in something, that doesn't mean it's true. Yeah, it may be true, okay? Or maybe it's false.
Yes, maybe true or maybe false, but
Yeah.
you can correctly say that this one is right and this one is wrong.
Yes, yes. That's
because
why.
because
That's why.
because
That's
because
why. That's
people
why. That's
because,
why. Because that's why we
yeah,
need better evidence to say, oh wait, this must be true.
yeah, but people from both sides may argue about that,
Yeah, they
and
can.
you cannot end this dispute. Actually,
I cannot do what?
you cannot stop this dispute about the existing and non-existence of
I
God.
wish I could, but yeah, I'm not able to. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So okay, may we go another topic?
Which one you want to choose?
Uh, the purpose of life.
Oh, that's an easy one. Okay. So for me, I don't know. Like it's the same. It's like God.
So
Maybe there's
okay,
no the purpose of life. Like,
so
like,
what do you want
will
to
you let
do?
me finish? Will you let me finish, man?
Okay, okay,
Why it's so hard to listen?
okay.
Okay, go on. I'm offended. What do you want to say? What is so important that you want to interrupt? I want to hear your opinion.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on. Go on.
Okay. What would be our next topic?
Which one?
Uh, which one?
Oh,
Atheism.
you want to change immediately without talking about the topic that you mentioned. Now you want to talk about atheism. Okay. Well, what do you want to say about atheism? Maybe you should start first because you're changing the topic immediately when I start speaking.
It's not like that.
It was like that, at least the previous one was like that. So, what do you want to say about atheism?
Atheism means the group of people, those who have no belief on God, and rather they believe on human potential, achievement, and curiosity.
Okay, you should
And
stop there. You should stop there. Yeah, the first
okay,
part is correct. People who don't believe in a God, they're atheists. And that's all.
yes,
And
yes,
after that, they can believe and disbelieve anything that they like. It's not important. It's not about atheism, okay? Only part about atheism is not believing in God. That's the part. It's
yeah.
all, you know, that you can say about atheism. Rest of it useless. It's not about atheism.
Okay, so my question is, why they believe so that there is no existence of God,
Okay, now
and
you wait a second.
can
Stop there. Stop there. Stop there. Now this question is speaking about different type of atheist people. So you started with different type, and now this is another type. Okay. So
oh
there are
yeah,
two
sorry,
type of
I
atheist people, and your
uh,
question is about other type of atheist people. So those people are the ones who believe that there is no God.
okay, I don't know about the variation of atheism, so I feel so sorry about that.
It's okay.
And
You don't
you,
have to say sorry, but like this is the difference. Maybe you should try to understand. It can
so
be
you can keep,
complicated.
okay, you can keep on topic regarding this.
Yeah, I was explaining. So the people who believes that there's no God, they're called hard atheist people. But the
Hard
ones,
atheist.
yeah, the ones who don't believe a God exists, they're soft atheists, and they also say, "Oh, I lack the belief in God. I don't have that belief." Or they say, "Ah, you know what? I'm not convinced that a God exists." So it's like agnosticism. They say, I don't know whether God exists or not, but your arguments are not convincing. That's why I don't believe a God exists. But that doesn't mean, oh, I'm sure that there's no God, or that doesn't mean I believe that there's no God at all. Maybe he exists, maybe not, but I don't have the belief that a God exists right now. So this is
Yeah,
soft atheism.
soft.
And now you can ask your question again by understanding what those two type of atheists.
Okay, strong atheism means they strongly believe that there is no God and they cannot hear any argument about this topic. Am I correct?
They cannot do what?
Sorry, I'm talking about the strong atheism,
Okay, they believe that there's no God, yeah.
and strongly believe that there is no God and they cannot, they don't want to hear about anything.
That's
Uh,
false. No, they discuss with people, so they have debates. They sure listen what other people are saying, and they also have their own arguments why they believe that there's no God.
so what are their arguments?
Uh you wanna hear really you wanna hear their arguments?
Yes, I want to hear.
For me it's boring right now because I'm not a hard atheist.
You are a soft atheist,
Yes, I am.
so you can describe yourself.
But soft atheists they don't need arguments.
You may describe some things. I want to hear something.
Yeah, but I already said, like agnostic atheists or soft atheists, they don't believe that God exists because they don't see good evidence. They don't see convincing evidence. They look at the evidence or they try to find an evidence. Either they don't find an evidence or they don't think that the evidence is good. That's why, they don't believe a God exists.
Yeah, I got
Example,
it.
let's suppose that you claim that you have magical powers, okay?
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, wait a second. I mean, I don't believe in that, man. Why? Because I have never seen any magical person, right? Who has magical powers. I have never seen such a person. So that's why I don't believe that Okay, so then you're saying, "Oh, come on, I'm gonna, show you my magical powers." And okay, what are your magical powers? And you say, "I can read minds." Oh, really? Okay, man. Like if you claim that, you can show it, right? You can test it. We can test it. And then you're saying, "Okay, I'll show you." And you're saying, "Hey, guess a number between 0 and 4."
Hmm.
And well, somehow you correctly, guess the number. And then you're saying, "You see, I have magical powers." And like a person like me comes and says, "Hey, wait a second, come on. I mean, yeah, you guessed it correctly, but it's between very limited numbers, and you can guess it by chance also, right?" And you're saying, "No, no, no, it was because of magical powers." And I'm saying, "No, this is not enough for me. This is not convincing." You
This is
say,
for foolish things.
"Okay, but how I could believe in that?" Okay, let's try it 100 times. Okay, 100 times. I guess a number and you guess it correctly. Like I mean, I think about a number, you guess it correctly every time, hundreds of times. Then I would say, wait, this is not normal. I mean, yeah, maybe this is a good evidence for me right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so and it's the same for God, at least for me. I look at what you provide, what you offer, and I try to think about it. Okay, is it coincidence, or the explanation can be something else, maybe something natural? Okay, so books. We were talking about books, right?
Yes, box.
And someone was asking, "Oh, do you believe that all books are written by humans?" Yes, I believe. If someone claims that, "Hey, look at this book, it was written by someone else, not a human," and I'm gonna say, "Wait a second, stop there. I don't believe in that. This is my, default position. I don't believe in that because I have never seen again any other humans. I mean, sorry, any other animals or beings writing books. Again, we should exclude AI. If the answer, "Hey, this book has been written by an AI," okay, yeah, I mean, that's also possible right now. But if you mean something else, I don't believe. And you have to prove me, and that will be even harder, right? It's a very hard task to prove. How can you prove me that a book is from, a non-human
Supernatural
supernatural
power.
power, or it doesn't even have to be supernatural. You can say that, "Oh, I have an alien friend who came from Mars and he wrote this book." No, I don't believe.
Okay, many of the what I say, there are many of the religion existing. One arguments that they are scriptures and myth.
Or come again?
Many of the religion or all of the religion existing in this world believe on the myth and what I say, the scripture
You said
about religion.
all the people?
All the people know the religion. I'm talking about religion.
Oh, what's your claim
Okay,
again?
okay. Let's clarify about that. You may think that Hindu, Muslim. So they believe on the scripture written by Muhammad's Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu. So they believe on that there is a direction erupted by God and through the Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu. So that's why they believe on the scripture, and according to that, they keep living and keep living and keep doing anything else according to the
According
might.
to what again?
Do you uh, do you know about might? Myth, sorry, my pronunciation
Mythology.
may be missed.
Okay.
Mythology, myth, yeah, mythology and scriptures.
Okay, people have scriptures, yeah. Okay, and
Yes, and that's why they believe on God because through these books, scriptures, and myth, they believe on God. Otherwise, there is no chance to believe on God.
Okay, they have books and they have these myths. That's why they believe a God exists.
Yes,
Okay.
actually, I think this is actually things people believe on God. Otherwise, there is no another. From your perspective, you thought that there is no belief.
Yeah, some some
So
some people can reach the idea of a creator or supreme being by thinking, maybe. But yeah, majority of the people believe a God exists because of those books. Yeah, but there's a big but here. That doesn't mean that that scripture is true or that myth is true, right? There are different kind of religions, different kind of books, and they also exist for a long time.
yeah,
And that was my question. Do you think all of them are correct?
I don't know.
You don't know, but do you think that they might be correct, all of them?
Yes, they might be correct.
They're like, one book says there are many gods, one book says there's only one God.
Yes, yes, yes.
And do you think that they can be true at the same time?
Yes,
Yes.
from one perspective,
Forget about one perspective. Like, do you think that there's only one God and many gods at the same time? This is
uh,
contradictory, man.
I think only one God existing in the world.
I don't care about what you think right now. I want you to think about, do you think that many gods exist and one God exists? These are true
One God,
statements, two of them.
one God.
So those two statements cannot be true at the same time. At least one of them must be false. And you're saying that many gods is the false answer. And some people can say, oh, one God is the false answer. And then I will say, wait a second, guys. Which one of you is right? Okay, maybe you and maybe the other guy. Or maybe both of you. You're wrong. If there's no God, then you and the other guy is wrong, right?
Yeah.
And how to know the answer of such a problem?
So
By
I
gathering more information, more evidence, right?
yeah,
Yeah, but here's the thing. Many religions bring the same type of evidence, okay? They say, "Oh, look, I
yeah,
have a book." "Oh, wait, that the other religion says the same." "Oh, I also have a book." Wait a sec. Like, how can I decide which one is true? They say we have miracles, and the other religions say, "Oh, we also have miracles." Surprise! And one religion says we have prophecies, and the other religion also say, "Oh, we also have prophecies." Okay, man.
yeah.
Now I'm so confused. I don't know which one is true because you guys provide me similar things, but you also claim, different things in the end. Your conclusions are different. How can you reach different conclusions through, same, similar methods? So that shows that there's a problem there.
You may think so.
I think so. Yeah, I'm thinking so.
So, brother, may I ask any questions regarding your personal?
We are talking about these topics, man.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna recreate the room so maybe we can find people. Okay, I will jump into
Yes.
another room, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for joining. If you don't want to join back, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Take care. Ugh, okay. What's this problem? I don't understand. We have a big problem. Secular humanism. Are you there, Tabula? Okay. There's something wrong about this website. I feel like I have been shadow banned. Every time I was creating the room, there were a bunch of people, and I know that I didn't block all of them, but it's not working. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, ba, ba. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Oh, we have a rock star in the room. Hey, rock star. Ooh, Senator. You're in time today. You were always late in these rooms.
Who is always late, buddy?
You,
Really?
yeah,
Uh,
you didn't recognize.
haven't you just created the room?
Oh, this is the third room I think that I'm creating today.
Oh, okay, not recently.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was kind of surprised because I saw that like there's no many people in your room, and I was surprised.
Oh, I was just mentioning about that. Yesterday and today there is a problem. I don't know what is the problem. People are not joining. Only for these 2 days. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, whenever I look up to your rooms, it like it is always full, so many people. But like nowadays,
It's not nowadays, it's yesterday and today, man. I hope it changes. Okay. We have. We don't have. Okay. Oh. Why the hell someone's sharing a video in another room? Out of nowhere. That's weird.
um,
Deepika.
I just wanna ask you a question. You know, because last time we had a conversation, you mentioned something. I just want to make it clear. Can I please?
Yeah, sure,
Like,
go on now.
I remember that last time you told me that just because the wheels of a vehicle spin doesn't mean that the vehicle itself spins.
Yeah,
Do you remember?
and I'm not sure, but most likely I said such a
Yeah, I
thing
mean,
because
yeah.
that's a,
You.
yeah,
Hmm?
yeah, that's a
Do you
clear
still think that it
fallacy.
is right?
Sure, sure, man. Sure. It's about logic.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Actually, you laughed at me, like now, like you laughed
Yeah.
at me when I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
I mean, like, can you just? I mean, I am just very stupid. Can you explain, like, why do you think like that? Like, just because when the wheels of a vehicle spins, the vehicle also spins.
the vehicle spins.
I mean, yeah, turns. I mean, no, turns.
Okay, like that spin and that thing is not the same thing. Like, do you know what is a spin? And by the way, you don't have to
Yeah, I
stick to
mean,
that example. Okay, like first you have to understand the logic here. Okay, that's a composition division fallacy. Okay, just because one part has one property, that doesn't mean the whole has the same property. Okay, for example, forget about the wheel spinning. Okay, if I say that the mirrors are made of plastic of the car, therefore the whole car is made of plastic. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, in this particular example, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
But
but that was a
but
similar example. Okay, you didn't have to focus on the physical dynamics of the situation, or you don't have to imagine. Oh, wait a second, I can spin the car if I want. Hey, wait, a car is something you just go right from point A to point B. It's directional, right? It just goes directly. Yeah, sometimes you turn the wheel, but that doesn't mean the car is spinning. It's still you're going to one direction, right? Like if you want to use it in a normal purpose. Okay,
yeah. Okay,
sure,
the vehicle is not spinning, but
the people
just
can spin
yeah.
the car. Yeah, well, I know that. Okay, you don't
No,
have
no.
to be
Just
a
I mean,
deep thinker to know that.
sorry. Well, I understood you. Like, yeah, that is correct. But when the wheels are moving, the vehicle is also moving.
Okay, the vehicle is moving, and the tires are spinning are the same thing. They are not the same things. Okay, the one is moving by spinning, but the other one is just moving directionally without spinning. So yeah, they both move. Okay, two things can share similar properties. Okay, but that doesn't mean
Mm.
they're identical. They do the same thing. You can't say that everything belongs to those two things are the same. You can't claim that just because because you see some similarities. That doesn't mean they're the same things. Again, look at the other examples. If it's hard to understand, for example, my nails are made of some, let's say, element. I don't know what are they made of in English. If I say, "Oh, my whole body is made of the same thing," therefore, no, that doesn't follow, right? It could follow for other things. For example, let's speak about a toy. Okay, the toy.
Mm.
Well, the whole toy can be made of plastic, right? All the parts.
Mm.
That's possible, right? So I can say, oh, the
Mm.
wheels of this car toy is made of plastic, and all the car is made of plastic. Yeah, even when I say therefore, it doesn't follow because we know that there are cars, I mean toys are made of different elements, right? Not only plastic, they use metal also.
Mm. Mm.
They can
Mm.
use glass and other
Yeah.
things, right?
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I mean, last time in my argument uh, when I used, the unpredictable nature of particles in quantum mechanics, you told me that just because, that this wheel argument you gave me, you said that just because the parts of something acts in a certain way doesn't mean that the whole acts in the same way. And
Sure.
I told you that we humans, we all are made of atoms, particles, and quantum physics is the study of those particles.
And so what?
And you know that that they are so unpredictable. Like they are so it stuns all scientists.
Okay, so what? Again, that's not an argument. Okay, yeah, they're unpredictable is the claim. So what does that mean? That means they're unpredictable, right?
I mean, that actually, that one particle can be at two locations at the same time. Did you?
One particle.
Yeah, one particle. I mean, yeah. Actually, have you ever researched about quantum mechanics? Like,
Man, it's boring, okay? Make your statement, okay?
I'm saying you that one particle
So
can be
what?
in two
Let's say that's
in
the
one
case.
location at the same
Yeah.
time.
Okay, no problem. Let's say that's the case. So what?
Mhm. So the follow up is that uh, Okay, I have to bring it up again. You opposed it. You opposed it later, but I mean, you say that we cannot believe and not believe at the same time.
I can believe and not believe at the same time.
Yeah, you
Okay,
opposed
yeah.
it. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
laughing.
I oppose that. You need evidence for that. Okay, let's go back to the same problem, because this is the same problem that you're committing, and I don't understand how you cannot understand that. So, particles can behave in a way, okay? And that's why I said let's accept for the sake of argument, okay? But that doesn't mean the whole behaves like that. For example, oh, you know what? I'm made of particles, and you know what? Particles can be in different places at the same time. Therefore, me, myself, can be in two different places at the same
Yeah,
time.
exactly,
Can you say
exactly,
that? Can you say that?
exactly, buddy, exactly.
Exactly. That's the problem, man. I'm saying that this is a
Buddy,
problem. You
buddy, you
can't
are
claim
only
that.
particles.
Oh my fucking god, man. Like, just look at the example that I have given, okay? Just because parts of a something has one property, that doesn't mean the whole has the same property. That doesn't mean, okay? Particles can behave in many different ways, okay? And like what you mentioned is like, you know, these quantum entanglements can be something, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
But that doesn't mean the whole, okay? Or that doesn't mean your phone can be in two different places at the same time. That doesn't follow logically. And where the logic comes from, well, it comes from what we observe, right? We can, as I said, just because your keyboard is made of plastic, that doesn't mean your laptop is whole made of plastic. Like mine is mostly metal, for example, okay, or also glass included, and other metals in the components of this laptop, okay. But if I just look at the keyboard, and if I judge the whole based on the keyboard, I can reach a wrong conclusion. That doesn't mean definitely I will reach the wrong conclusion. You should also understand that thing. I gave you other examples where the parts and the whole can, you know, show the same, you know, properties. That's also possible, but it's not necessarily, okay. You're saying the particles, yeah, have this property, therefore the whole has the same. Oh, wait, we are not sure about that. It can be false. Is it clear now, or we should, you know,
Well, yeah,
do more exercise?
I have understood your stance.
Yeah,
I have understood your point of view.
we have a comment on YouTube right now. Quantum world and the macro world apparently have different rules. We don't have unifying theory yet. Applying quantum behavior to beyond quantum is unscientific. That's just a statement, okay? And that's what I also claim.
Hmm. Well,
Do you want to elaborate other points?
no, let me think about it. Just please, just for a minute.
Take your time. And let's say hi to the other guy. Ghost. Hey.
No.
Hello there. Connection problem?
Oh, no. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
yeah, I can.
All right.
I said, yes, I can. I feel that there is some connection problem, or just you're not talking.
I'm not just talking.
That's the thing. Plus the noise cancellation, I believe. Sometimes it makes it harder.
You're right. Yeah.
You have been to this room before?
Sorry, come again, please?
Have you been to this room before?
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. How long have you been using this platform?
It's been 1 year and more, I guess.
Oh, okay. Okay. We have that
Right.
other silent person. Kishot. Why not speaking Kishot? Busy. That's a good answer. Okay. I know. Oh, I don't think you're that much busy if you're changing your profile picture, your nickname. You must have plenty of time. That's not a behavior of a busy person. You're just free for me? That sounds really bad. I hope my girlfriend is not watching right now. Okay, we let Senator to think about the logical fallacy. Mostly people struggle with that one. And it's sometimes even hard to catch it because people can bring that argument in a very eloquent way so that sometimes it's hard to understand. Okay. What else? Rocky, you got another band? By the way, like I hit yesterday's video. I think the content was too harsh for many people, and I don't want to get banned even on YouTube. So my request for other times. No, you don't think so? Okay, we can discuss about that if you disagree. I might be wrong. I'm forgetting that there is the latency. So I also may misunderstood you. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. These latency can lead a lot of misunderstanding. Anyway, like, so if it was not about that, so I will just say it. It's better for me if we have less harsh conversations with people so that people can get less annoyed and people use the report button less. That's nothing on Free for Talk, but if it's on YouTube, that might be a problem for me. So that's just simple request. Okay. So there's a busy one here. And ghost is kind of, yeah, like a ghost.
Oh, I think, yep, I should talk, right?
It's up to you. I mean, I may sometimes force people to speak, but it's for the sake
Mhm.
of conversation because people still want to listen. They wait, 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 wait. If no one talks, I don't like to
Exactly.
talk by
Uh-huh.
myself. Oh, thanks for understanding, Rocky.
I understand.
Sorry, it was an answer for YouTube. Yeah. So, what do you think about topics?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question. You know, I was wondering, to watching your topics or reading this, you have chosen many of topics like God, atheism, life or purpose, religion, existence, and everything. So I was wondering if all of these topics you have identified, it could be woven into a single thread or a string. And what would be that the string made of? Or it is possible to tie them all of the topics together into a single
Okay, it's breaking a little bit right now, but
string.
you mean
Did you get me?
no, it's breaking. It's breaking a little bit.
Was breaking? Okay, should I repeat?
Yeah, but in simple
Is it
words.
okay now?
I think it's okay now, but please try to make it simpler. Are you
All
right
right.
now?
It is possible to. Um, is it okay now?
I feel like there's a latency, but anyway, let's try it again.
All right. All right. Let's
Just
try
like
it
4 seconds.
So all of the topic you made still
Now it's breaking.
is not
Okay, it's breaking. It's now working. Probably you'll get my
working.
answer
Oh
after
right. Okay. Let me type it.
4 seconds. Oh yeah, if you type it will be better maybe. And we also have Renji. Sorry, Renwijay. Welcome, Renwijay. We're waiting for a question. I was wondering if all of the topics you have identified could be woven into a single thread. What would that thread be made of? Or it is even possible to tie them all together into a single thread. Uh, well, all those topics are mostly circular around one topic, which is God. So, but there is some of them we can still talk about without God. For example, morality is one of them. We can talk about morality, and we don't need God for that. And what else? We can talk about existence of religions. Yeah, we can create religions without God also. If there's no God, we can. But well, God is very important when it comes to religion, so we cannot separate the purpose of life. Again, it goes under the main topic of God, because if the life has a purpose, many people believe that that purpose is given by someone, and they call it God. Yeah, and my answer is that threat can be God.
I do appreciate it. And if you think about it again,
Okay.
but I'd like to accept this answer. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Rocky says that belief without evidence could be the unifying topic. Unifying in which sense, Rocky? Okay. And Rocky, we have a problem, huge problem. For 2 days, I feel like I'm shadow banned on Freever Talk. I create the room, there are less people, like sometimes even no people. And I don't understand what's going on. Hmm. Rocky, that wouldn't be a question that I mostly ask to people, because I think that people are free to believe in anything with any amount of evidence. That's why I don't ask that question generally. Ask me whatever you want. Oh, I raise. Ask me anything you want. And VJ saying. But anyway, let's don't play that game. So, do you believe a God exists? Ran VJ, but you should use your mic if you want to have a conversation, discussion, whatever you want.
Yeah, okay. Am I audible to you?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Let's continue.
Yeah, I already asked the question. Do you believe a God exists or not?
According to my religion, I believe in God. Yeah, absolutely.
According to your
God,
religion, you believe in.
God has a presence in this universe.
Okay, so which God do you believe in?
In Hinduism, there are many gods. There are many, different, many different gods.
Got you. How
Like
many
God
gods do you believe in
generates
then?
operate. I only believe like you can see different gods gives different morals of the life.
No problem, but how many gods do you believe in?
Mainly, I believe in two gods, but
Two.
I mostly I believe in one God. That is Lord
Mostly
Shiva.
one. But you said that there are many gods in Hinduism.
Yeah,
So that
many
sounds like you
gods.
believe
They
in
are
many gods.
goddesses.
That's a little bit contradictory. Do you understand that? You're saying that there are many gods in my religion, but I believe in only one of them.
Yeah.
That's the case.
No,
No?
believing is at its side, and
Believing is what?
who you listen to me, and who you
Trying to.
declare as your idol, and who you declare as your worshipped being for worshipped is your choice. I believe in every god, but the mostly who I believe, who I follow. I'm saying that.
Okay, so you believe that there are many gods, but you worship only one of them.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
that is
now
what I'm
now
trying to say.
now we are clear. You see, I was all trying to understand what you're saying. So,
Yeah.
okay, the question is whether those gods are real, like they exist or not for me.
As in Hinduism, in this Hindu religion, there are different yugs.
They're,
Kali Yuga, if you know.
they're different what?
This is a Hindu. This is a Hindi word, Hindi language word. Yug.
Yug, okay.
Yeah. It means you can say either it's age, era, epoch, cycle.
And
There are four types of yugs: Satya Yug, Treta Yug, Dwarpa Yug, and Kali Yug. Satya Yug tells about age of truth and perfection. Treta Yuga tells us about age of lesser virtue. Dwarpa Yug tells about age of decline, and Kali Yug current age of darkness and ignorance. Kali Yug is that time that we are living in.
and
Are you getting what I'm saying?
man, there's like too much information. I cannot elaborate all the information together. But what do you mean in general?
I want to convey that the yug in which we are living,
What's
there are
that?
in the yug in the time which we are living, there are many less people who believes in God.
Okay. So,
But so I'm trying to saying is that the time now has been worsened.
has been what?
Has the time has become worse.
Oh, because there are less people
So
who believe in those
so
gods?
so
That's why?
due to this situation, many people don't believe in God, but I believe in God because if there is something negative in this world, then there could be positive also.
It could be positive also. Okay, but that doesn't mean positive means a god.
Yeah,
For example, I can say, hey, the sun rises, I smell the flowers, this is so positive, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I
The
don't
main
need to call it God.
the main thing is that what we see in everything, like I see God in everything.
You see God in everything?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so you claim that we have different visions because I cannot see God in
yeah,
anything.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you mean we have different visions?
Yeah.
Really?
That yeah, this is the personal choice. Either he wants to believe in it or not.
So it's about choice. It's not about what is true out there. You can choose to believe in any false thing that you want.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah.
know,
Okay. I mean, I
if
respect
someone
that.
don't believes in God, yeah, it's his or her choice that he wants to believe in or not. But don't be involved in science too much that you forget your God, your ancestors.
I don't care about my ancestors.
You know, everything has been started from God.
Oh, I don't know that, and that may be false statement. If there is no
Do you
God,
believe in God?
I don't believe in any God.
Why?
Because I don't see good evidence for the existence of any God.
Because you are involved in science, that's why you don't believe.
Because I involved in science, that's why I don't believe. No, I said I don't
Yeah.
see good evidence for any God, that's why I don't believe. It's not about science. I'm not a
It's
scientist.
no you. Yeah, science. Why don't you believe in God? Give
And the
me
problem is
one
the problem
one.
is that that's a clearly false statement. You're too much involved in science. That's why you don't believe God exists. It's a very false thing to say because we know that there are many scientists. Scientists they
And
believe that God
summary was it?
exists.
There
Oh,
is there is no scientific.
don't do that. Okay. So we know that there are many scientists who believe a God exists. Okay. So that means
Mm,
involvement in a science or in science doesn't say anything about whether you believe a God exists or it leads you not to believe a God exists. You can't say that, okay? That's a false
mm.
claim. But anyway,
Okay, but
so now you know that it's
okay, but
not about
most of the times,
most of the
but
time.
most of the times, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay, for
You.
my time, it's not about that, okay? But
I'm
we're
not offending, but most of the times science becomes false whenever it comes to gods. There is no scientific proof for or against God's existence. Belief in God is often based on faith, philosophy, personal experience, or cultural
okay. So
tradition.
that means it can be false, right?
Yeah, maybe for some people who don't believe in.
It's not about like for the people who don't believe in. Like logically, if you have faith in something, that doesn't mean it's real out there. People believe in many different things, right? And they cannot be true at the same time. For example, what do you think about the people who believes that there's only one God and the people who believes in many gods? Okay.
I think they. I think those people are the. I think those people are. You know, they have the best mindset. Who
Okay. Forget
thinks that.
about their mindset. Well, like, care. Like you should think about my question. There are people who believe that there's only one God. There can't be many gods,
Yeah.
and there are people who believe in many gods. So which one is true? I mean, like those two statements cannot be true at the same time because they're contradictory.
But it depends.
If there are
Yeah,
many
it
gods,
depends on.
that means
Yeah.
one God claim
Yeah.
is false because there are many gods. But if there is only one God, that means there are no other gods. That means the one who believe in many gods is false. Okay? So that shows us logically, like just because you have a faith in something, that doesn't mean
Yeah.
necessarily is true. Okay? Faith
Hmm.
can lead you to wrong conclusions. Your conclusion is therefore there's only one God. Oh, that conclusion may be false.
Hmm.
And all
Yeah.
people can be wrong about that also. Like let's look at the some people believe in one God, some people in many gods. At least one of them is wrong. Okay, one of the group is definitely false by logic.
Yeah.
But there's also a chance that two of them are false. Because if there is no God, the people who believe that there's only one God is false, or the people who believe that there are many gods, they're false too. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Or people who believe that there's no God, who have the faith that there's no God, they can also be false if there is a God. At least one God is falsifying their belief.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we have lost Senator. He said, I will think about it. A minute. Oh, he was typing something.
Hmm.
No, he was trying to help.
But
Okay.
if you but if you don't believe in God, that doesn't means that you make others to realize about it that what you're thinking.
It's not about what I am thinking. It's about what I am not thinking. Okay.
That
I'm not
yeah.
thinking. It's not about I am thinking. Okay. I don't think
What do you
God
think
exists. That
about it?
doesn't mean there's no God. Okay. I'm an atheist. I don't
Yeah.
believe God exists. But again, I just explained to you. That doesn't mean there is no God. That doesn't mean even I claim that there is no God. I don't claim that there's no God. I'm not
But can you
convinced
give me
that the
one
God
reason
exists.
that you don't believe in?
Oh, yeah. My only reason is not seeing good evidence for the existence of any God.
Have you ever visited India or listened about it?
Yeah, I lived in India for 20 years. So what?
Okay, you can you can either check. You had you ever visited temples in India
Sure, many times, yeah.
who are deeply worshipped?
What?
Those temples which have been deeply worshipped.
So what? That doesn't say
Have you
anything
ever visited
about the
in those?
question whether God exists or not.
Yeah, there are some proofs in
Some
India.
proofs, really? Why I didn't
Yeah.
see them?
Do you know about Dwarka?
Dwarka, sure, I know him.
Do- Have you studied about it?
Yeah, a lot. And it's not convincing.
But how can you say that God
I
doesn't
have never
exist?
said God doesn't exist. Like, you see, you're not even listening carefully. By the way, I was just lying about India. I've never visited
There
India.
is God
And I don't care
existent,
about the
but it's
temples existing in India. And what is the evidence there? You can just tell. What's the evidence?
no, wait.
There's some stones floating.
Hmm.
Some
So you're
stones are
making fun
floating,
of it.
therefore God
Okay.
exists. No, I'm not making fun of it. I'm trying to guess whether that's the evidence that you're trying to say or not.
Hmm.
But if that's the thing that you are going to say, don't say it. I'm going to laugh about it.
In Hinduism, the existence of God is not proven in the Western scientific sense, but it's deeply explored through scripture, philosophy, and personal experience.
Oh, you're reading from ChatGPT right now.
No,
Okay.
if you want any evidence or understanding of God in Hinduism, you, you can you can study about spiritual
There are
authority.
many people who are
Shruti and Smriti.
studying those scriptures, and
Had you ever,
that
had you ever, had
that
you ever,
doesn't
have you
make
ever,
them believer all the time. Okay.
had you ever read Vedas?
I don't need to read Vedas.
Vedas. What do you read?
I read
You could
a lot
you
of
could read
scriptures,
you could
but
read Bible, but you don't choose to.
you don't choose to what?
Your holy book.
My holy book. I don't have a holy book. I'm an atheist.
Mhm. If you will deeply
Deeply.
understand,
Oh, so you think that
yeah.
I'm stupid and I don't understand deeply?
If
Okay,
if
thanks
you know,
for accusations. Man,
if you
here's
deeply
the thing.
study about these things,
Stop,
then you'll get to know
stop, stop,
what is
stop,
real or not.
stop, stop. Like, you should be humble, okay? And you should be open-minded also. And you shouldn't be that certain about everything, okay? So I don't know you. Maybe you're deeply studying these things, and maybe you're deeper, and maybe that's why you believe a God exists. But I don't think that's the case. So for the conversation that we had so far, you're not convincing. At least you didn't show me evidence that you deeply studied these things. But anyway, but still that's possible. Maybe you have done a very deep, research about these things. I don't know that, but you don't know me also. Maybe I have done deeper study than you have done. Okay. So it's hard to understand who is deeper. That's why we shouldn't suggest each other, hey, you should go and study deeper. Really, maybe you're on the deepest. Maybe there's no place to go further. Okay. Or maybe I am the one, okay, deeper than you, or maybe even the deepest. So if you tell me, hey, you should go deeper, oh, there's no fucking deep more than that. So you don't know, and I don't know. And the best thing is not assuming things about each other. Okay. So
Hmm.
maybe I even don't need to study those scriptures because many of them they're similar. I read verses from Bhagavad Gita. Okay. And they're not
Yeah.
convincing. Like they're just claims in those books, and they're similar to other books, holy books. I read some other books also, but they seem very similar. And just because something is written in a book, that doesn't mean it's a good evidence. Okay, because you can read Lord of the Rings, that doesn't mean you start to believe in, you know, magicians. Okay, or just because you
No.
read
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, that doesn't mean dragons were real, right?
It's
And the
it's
same
your
goes
choice that you
for.
want to believe
It's
or
not
not.
about choice, man. It's not about choice, okay?
It's your choice. No. No.
Sure,
What?
you can
Then tell
choose
me
to believe in
what is it?
something that's something else. You can choose to believe in something
If you
that.
want to believe in something or not, that's your choice to believe
Oh, I
or
want
not.
to believe. I want to believe, but
No,
I don't
I'm
believe
not willing
in
you to believe.
something.
That's your choice.
If you can want me to believe, it's also okay. And I want to believe, no problem with that. The problem that I'm trying to show here is those are not convincing, okay? Like for me, there's no logic choosing one over the other because they are similar. They are so similar. That's why I'm not choosing. That's why I don't want to choose. But yeah, it's about the choice. I agree with you. You can choose anything. You don't have to care. You can even choose false things intentionally. You have to do that. I mean, you have freedom to do that. It's your choice. Okay.
Hmm.
But sometimes people are stating those, you know, statements as if they're true. And then that becomes bothering for me because just because you say it, that doesn't mean it's true. Or I don't care about your choice. Maybe you choose to believe in those things. Okay, respect. But you can't claim, hey, wait, this is true. This is true. This is true. No, that doesn't mean it's true. Maybe it's true, but if you want to convince me, you should show more evidence. That's the thing. We need more
I know
evidence.
you have been in India for how many years? I don't
I
know.
told you. I
You have
said
been
I have never been to India. I said I was
never been
like,
that.
but
How can you say that? Yeah. But if you if you study about it, if you
tell me,
I
what did you
don't think
study,
so that you
man?
have.
Like you think
I don't think so. You have studied about different gods.
you don't think that I have studied about different gods? Why do you
Yeah.
think so?
You know Tirupati Balaji. You know Tirupati Balaji Mandir, Tirupati Balaji Temple.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What about that temple?
One survey was conducted over there. You know, uh, I think 15 to 20 years have been go
And
for that survey.
you went there to
They
survey
tried
something?
to, yeah, one survey
And
was conducted 20 years ago. Then they sent a camera inside the temples.
they did
There
what?
were many, cameras,
Oh,
cameras.
like they went there with the cameras.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, they sent those cameras inside different mines,
Different
which were
minds.
closed. No, not mine. Wait, there were different doors which were not supposed to be open
Okay. And
because of some beliefs, and they tried to capture some things which happened at mainly night.
okay, they caught something on the camera. And what was that
Okay.
thing?
No, then and next, no, though nothing was captured in the camera because
Nothing was captured in
camera
the
didn't work
camera. No, why we're talking
when they
about
tried to
camera?
when they
Okay.
tried to you when they try, yeah, next morning when they tried to see the camera didn't work at all.
The camera didn't work at all. There can be a lot of reasons why a camera got broken in a cave. Many
No, it was
reasons.
standing but not working.
Okay,
It
like
wasn't broke. This
the,
was
the
God's power.
it was ghost probably. Oh my god, that's how you said it. Things. I appreciate your effort, but you should do more. okay? Not to be scammed, because with this mindset, people can scam you easily, okay? And I don't think that's what you want. So just because you don't know the reason of something, that doesn't mean it's a ghost. That doesn't mean it's magic. That doesn't mean it's unicorns. That doesn't mean it's God, okay? Yeah, there's a problem. There's a broken device, and
All
a
is
device
the
can be broken in many different
love I have for
ways.
God is from
And
my heart,
every
not from
time
money.
we see a
So
broken fucking device, we find
one,
out that the reason
no one
is
scam me, brother.
natural, okay? It's not a
No
ghost.
one can scam me, brother.
No one
This
with this
worship is from her, not from.
mindset, you can be easily scammed. Easily. That's just, my suggestion to you. Be more clear. Don't think that just because something is going on, the answer is something invisible, or the answer is definitely magic. You can't claim that, okay?
Senator Curiosa, you interested in
Yeah,
whether I speak
Rocky,
English?
Rocky, I want to tell you something, sir. Since you are here, since you are present here, Rocky, how do you know that thought only exists in micro world?
Oh, wait. Rocky has the mic right now.
Yeah, how do you like?
Wait, Senator. Wait. Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, Rocky.
The person.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, because he said that the in macro.
No problem with your audio there, Senator.
So is my voice clear now?
Yeah.
Okay, now Rocky just stated earlier that the principles of the micro world cannot be applied in the macro world, right?
Okay. Well, they're having trouble hooking quantum.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Rocky, can you just open your microphone, turn on your microphone?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm telling you that you earlier stated that. Okay, I'm just repeating it again, but you stated that the principles of the micro world cannot be applied in the macro world, right?
I just said quantum and relativity do not, predict the same things. They
Mm,
don't. They
So,
are
okay,
not
do you know?
conclusive. We cannot
Mm,
unite them yet.
mm,
So if we apply relativity to quantum or quantum to macro, that doesn't make
yeah,
sense because we don't
yeah,
have a
okay.
unifying theory yet.
Yeah, with all due respect, sir, with all due respect, do you know for sure that thought exists in the micro world, only in micro world,
What's
or
that?
in
Neurotransmitters do exist in macro world, yes.
No, I'm telling you that thought itself, it
What is thought?
also
What is
thought.
thought?
I mean,
What is
It's
that
the
word?
electrical simulation in your brain, your neurotransmitters. What else is
yeah,
thought?
yeah, exactly. So I'm saying that it also exists in the micro world, not only in macro world.
Do you have an evidence?
How do you spell that word? I don't know what word that is.
Don't
Thought.
which word?
Thought. Thought. Whatever you're
Thoughts,
saying.
thoughts, thoughts.
Spell it.
Wait.
Oh, thought. Jesus Christ. Okay. Thought. Sorry. Maybe it was my fault.
So Senator is making a claim that thought exists, in
Now,
its form in micro world. Can you give an evidence that they exist in its own form in micro world?
okay, but you also cannot give evidence that it doesn't exist in micro
We
world.
have evidence. We can see them. We can see through microscopes how neurotransmitters are. We can detect electric signals. We have evidence that do exist in macro world. And when we see protons, when we see electrons, we don't see their behavior to be something which is similar to thoughts.
I mean, like awareness, right?
Yeah.
Consciousness. That's what he's pointing at. So suppose consciousness is present in the micro world. Well, where do you want to go
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that?
yeah. If it is like that, if it is the case,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it means that we can believe and not believe at the same time.
Oh,
You have
okay.
to make such a big assumption for that claim. It's like saying if atom exists in micro world, atom is itself made of micro world. It cannot exist in micro world, if you know what I mean.
You know, if you're smart, you'll believe something and always retain a certain level of skepticism about what you just said. So in a way, that's true.
Hey, Senator, you know
Gabish.
what you're saying? Senator, you're saying what if hydrogen molecule exists in hydrogen atom? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, okay, but I know that particles like make up, big objects. I know that.
So why would you say the whole object will exist in the particle itself?
Okay, then everything that exists in the micro world also exists in the macro world.
In its part, yes, and they make the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. Then technically, like.
No, not technically. You can have emergent properties that only appear later in complexity. You have to have a certain level of complexity to have thoughts. The building blocks leading you up to it don't necessarily have the power of thought. It's only in conjunction with other particles and other, you know, you need neurons, you need synapse, you need a bunch of stuff
Mhm.
to develop thoughts. So you're not going to get that at the micro level,
Mhm.
at least not in those terms.
Detect electrical signals.
Imagine
Yeah.
you're saying if water is there, hydrogen has to be wet
But you're
and
saying
oxygen
that
has to be wet.
we can, like, we humans can detect electrical signals, like, and like these are the manifestations of the thought in the macro world, right?
I don't know what
Whatever's
you mean by manifestation.
whatever's going on in the micro world leads to the macro world, okay? But you won't see the same attributes being displayed at the micro level. If you take your computer apart, each component can't do what the computer did when it was put together.
And plus, Senator, it's really annoying that I gave you the same examples just half an hour ago, and you said I will think about it, and you didn't bring anything new. You're just asking the same stupid questions right now. Yeah, just because a part behaves in a way, that doesn't mean the whole or the collection of parts they behave in the same way. That doesn't mean, again, just because my keyboard is made of plastic, that doesn't mean the whole laptop is made of plastic. No, that doesn't mean. And that's very simple, right? That's very simple. And by the way, it can be the case also. I'm not claiming that. No, it never shows the same properties. Yeah, it can go in that direction also. Yeah, maybe the the property that you cherry picked, maybe it exists in the micro world and at the same time in the macro world. That can also go, but it doesn't follow each other. You can't make the statement, bold statement. Hey, wait, in the micro world, in the quantum world, it obeys this Therefore, it's supposed to behave in the same way in the macro world. No, it doesn't follow.
What is he? What is he trying to establish?
I, I,
Pantheistic view of everything, or
I think, if I'm not wrong, he said, I believe and I don't believe at the same time. And he's trying to
that's
prove that.
okay.
Why is everyone laughing at this statement, buddy?
Because it's funny.
No, nobody's laughing at the statement. We're just laughing at the situation. Again, if you make a statement, you can always have reservations about what you just said. That you always have to look at what you say and realize that it's subject to modification or negation or something. Nobody speaks the pure truth every time they open their mouth. So that
Yeah,
what
my intention is to have a productive discussion, but I'm just,
okay,
I don't know,
so
maybe I'm not.
up to it. What's the good word there, Phil?
About what?
That's what I'm asking you. What's the good word?
Good world?
Word.
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 D. The good word for what?
That's you not familiar with that American expression?
No, seemingly not.
Seemingly. It's another way of saying what's happening.
What's happening? Okay, there's a problem, okay? I should start from
What,
that one.
what do we got? What do we got?
Today and yesterday, this place feels so dead. People are not joining.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what do you think?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing that I would caution you about is the the harshness that people experience when you mute them and stuff like that. That you have to be careful with. I've seen a lot of people leave the room when a friend of mine, that's his style. When it's his room, if he thinks they're not making any sense, he mutes them, and that's a very insulting thing to do. It's
Think so.
degrading. It's degrading, yeah.
Okay, but what about prioritizing your
Conversation,
your needs
yeah.
and
The
your
conversation itself,
sanity also and the conversation itself. So
yeah,
when I think someone's not making sense and becomes annoying for me, I'm just
yeah,
trying to get rid of that.
yeah.
And I
You know, when
understand.
I run a room and somebody's talking out of order, I'll directly talk to them and try to calm them down. I don't worry about muting them.
Yeah,
And
but
then
that's
if they
another
don't
waste of time.
cooperate, I throw them the fuck out.
You see, you're just making it longer. Sometimes, mostly, they don't understand. Even if you try to do that, or maybe you
Uh,
have the ability to calm them
yeah,
down, but I don't have that
yeah,
ability.
yeah. That's quite possible because I have a good feeling about everybody. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter what they're doing. Yeah. And I realize that the only reason they are the way they are is they've been molded by their experiences and their environment. So I don't blame them for anything they do, even though we know we have to. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I quietly do not.
I kind
And
of and okay, go on.
no, that's about it.
I kind of have also similar feelings,
Yeah,
and I believe I mostly smell, you know, what is the scent in the air. So I just do those
yeah,
things quickly to save a lot of time for myself. And I understand, and I appreciate your critique.
and yeah.
It's mostly people can return more violently, but again, I will use the same tools to prevent them stealing my time.
Well, I always, again, somebody who's being difficult, if you remain sincere with them in wanting to establish proper communications, if you can communicate that effort, that goal, it calms them down. In other words, you have to be interested in what they want to say, but you want to talk them into calming down a little bit. That's all.
Hmm.
Once you devalue somebody, that's not good. And when you mute somebody, they are devalued. You've basically said you're not worth listening to.
Yeah, and I'm honest about that. I don't
Yeah,
want to listen.
and I know, and you have a point. I get it, but rather than slap them in the face, I would rather talk to them directly and try to calm them
Okay,
down.
then let's evaluate the situation, Horatio. How many
Okay.
times it went, fruitful after you tried to calm them down?
A lot,
A
a
lot.
lot. Yeah,
Okay. Do you
it
think that they
would.
were sincere, or they were just behaving, or they
No,
were just
they're sincere.
mirroring?
No, they're sincere.
They're
When you
sincere.
bring sincerity, you get sincerity.
Hmm.
It's that simple.
But I assume like it's kind of mirrored behavior, right? It's not representing those people the way that they are. They're just going with you.
You worry too much about the validity of what you're seeing. You don't sit there and say, it's mirror responses, and they're not really, they don't mean it. You can't go there. Can't worry
Oh, I
about that.
did. I already did. And don't you think that that can be the case?
It doesn't matter. We all do mirror responses.
Hmm.
We all do that automatically.
Yeah, yeah. So when I see nonsense, I respond with nonsense. I don't like
Mm,
try more effort, to try to understand them, to calm them down. I don't have such an obligation to calm down people.
well, you have to know what their underlying tension is,
Yeah,
and you have to know to how to address it.
yeah, but there are many people out there, Horatio, that they can calmly and sincerely engage with these topics, and they do.
Yeah,
By the way, I have
yeah,
that evidence also when people
yeah.
come try to
Sure.
understand. And they disagree, but it's okay that they have this calm conversation and
Right.
they listen, they try to understand. You can see that.
Right.
Why should I waste my time with the other guys
Yeah.
while calming them down, trying to understand what they do mean?
Well, you get good at it after a while. Like I say, it doesn't always work. When I am addressing someone who's out of control, I give them a very sincere um, approach and criticism and support. You can't just criticize somebody. You always want to be supportive of the way they are and the way they feel while you try to correct it. You have to do both. And
I have
if
to do
that doesn't work, I throw them the fuck out.
both. Okay, I mean, it's about how you choose to use your time.
But but there's the similarity between what our friend there was saying. You can believe something and not believe it at the same time. There are opposites that always come into play at the same time. When you talk to somebody, you have to criticize them and support them at the same time.
Why support again?
Pardon?
Why we should support?
Why? Because they're a human being with thoughts, and they sincerely are trying to express it, even if they're terrible at it. You have to always assume the best, and as long as they're sincere, as long as they're not trolling,
Yeah,
then you have something real to work with.
yeah, but that's the problem. That there are many like things that you should check. Like you should understand, are they sincere or not. Sometimes it's so hard, even impossible, to understand. And the other things that you said is also really hard to analyze. So just because I'm in the middle of a conversation and they try not making any sense, I don't want to waste my time to do all those things for those people.
Well,
And the good thing is they rejoin again, they try again, and we can decide
I,
next time.
there's a again, when somebody enters the realm of trolling, I
Hmm.
have no use for them unless we're having fun and they happen to be funny when they do it.
Hmm.
That's different. But I have no use for trolling otherwise. So
Mm,
if somebody is sincere but they're out of control, I will try to work with them as long as they're sincere. If they're
yeah.
trolling me, that's different. They better be funny, otherwise I'm throwing them the fuck out.
So that shows us that people handle with other people in different ways.
Oh, gee, nothing new about that
Yeah,
concept.
yeah. But like, okay, like maybe it's not good to assume, but what do you say?
Well,
That there is a rule about this, because you're saying we should do that. This, I think you said that.
is there a question in there
Yeah, that's the question. Like, is there any rule about this?
about what?
About how to treat people?
Your goal is to make a successful communication.
Yeah,
That's your goal.
but not
And
with all
so,
people.
well, that's when we've already covered that. If
Okay.
you make all the efforts that you can and you see that it's not working, you have the option of throwing them the fuck out.
I know that, but let's again, it's you are using effort for each of the people, and what
Yes.
I'm saying, I don't want to use my effort for each of the people.
Well,
If I see some red flags, doesn't matter. I can be wrong. I always accept that maybe the person was making sense and I was too dumb and I didn't get it. That's possible.
yeah,
I always accept that.
yeah,
But for the sake of time, or saving my sanity,
yeah,
I use that shortcut
yeah,
to spend
yeah.
more time, for example, for the people like Senator, or the people like Rocky, for the people like you. So that saves time for them.
Luma Mama. When Namnar. Wow, what kind of
Mama,
a fucking name
ma,
is that?
Luma Mama. Wow.
Luma Mama.
Yeah,
Wenam Namar. Namnar.
it's more terrible than my nickname.
I think he made that one up.
Mm,
I
let's
don't
ask.
think
Hey,
that's.
did you make that name by yourself?
I would hope so.
Okay, he's not speaking.
Luma, you there, Luma? Luma Mama?
Luma sounds female. Maybe she doesn't want to talk. I was just
See. Oh, wait a
okay.
minute. No, I was just translate. Was just translating it.
Language is that?
All right, so you're translating it. So what does it mean? It's 555 666. I think this person's insane. I don't think they make any sense. What does that mean? If you're 555, then I'm 666. All right, Luma Mama, Luma Mama.
Maybe she meant to say I am older than you or bigger than you, or I don't know.
You are playing with language, buddy. You are playing linguistics. You are
1000%.
concentration. You know that hydrogen and oxygen come together in a certain way and give the water wetness. Oh, it's back to that senator again.
Oh, yeah. Let's try to solve this problem. Oh, Slipknot. It sounded to me, yeah, the same thing. Fuck, sex. Yeah, that's the song. Maybe. Okay, someone from YouTube helped a little bit to enlighten that situation.
Yeah, Luma Mama, your reference to Satan and angels is nonsense. So you might want to start talking coherently, because right now you sound incoherent.
Anyway, the other topic is more interesting, Horatio. And well, you guys muted yourselves. Rocky. Senator.
And I believe the number 666 has already been disputed to where it was actually 616. And I believe it pointed to Nero, Emperor Nero.
Hey, philosopher, sir, do you have any opinions about this topic
Which one?
that you would like to, state? I mean, does thought exist in micro world? Awareness, thought.
Man. But here's the thing, okay? I'm not a very intelligent person, okay? My approach is to use simpler examples when try to understand things, okay? So that's why I have given you the example of a laptop, okay? Or a car. And Rocky also gave another example. But anyway, so like thought, mind, these are more complex topics, okay? If we want to solve another problem, we shouldn't use more complex tools to solve the problem. I mean, that doesn't sound well, but what I'm trying to say, when it comes to philosophical topics, we shouldn't try to handle the problem with already something which is already problematic. For example, math, right? Intelligence or consciousness, okay? So it's not logical to solve a problem with the topic of consciousness, because consciousness is already a topic which is complicated. We don't have very good answers for every question about consciousness. Or the gravity, like believers use the example of gravity, but in science there's a problem with gravity, okay? We don't understand completely how it works, okay? We couldn't reconcile those physical, things. And when it comes to using that example to explain something else, it's not working good, okay? If you try to explain something with another unknown thing, that's useless. So forget about the thought example, okay? Try to understand it with simpler examples. Your claim is, if something in the micro world behaves in a way, that's supposed to behave in the same way in the macro world.
No, I'm saying that
You're not
I'm
saying
saying
that.
that each thought. Sorry. I'm saying that if thought exists in the micro world, so then you know that we can both believe and not believe.
You can both believe and not believe in what?
In God, or in
What does that mean? I don't understand. If thoughts exist in where exactly?
if thought exists in the micro world, just like particles, just okay,
And
then we can do the two at the same time. We can do the two at the same time. We can both believe and not believe.
so it's like in the macro world thoughts exist, and here they exist. They both exist. It's not yes or no. It's not belief and not belief. It's belief, or it's not belief. So you don't check opposite properties. You check two positive properties. Like thoughts exist here, and thoughts exist in the upper scale of that thing, whatever that thing is. They
Mhm.
both exist, okay?
Mhm.
And I told you, like, things may behave in the same way both in the quantum world and here. They can behave similarly, okay? Or they can behave differently. So when you know that, when you understand that, what's your claim? Because to be able to believe in something, like, we need, right, consciousness and all those things, like the mechanism that requires
Mhm.
for believing, right? And you
Mhm.
can't claim that the same things can exist in the micro world. Maybe they exist, maybe they don't exist, maybe they can never exist. We don't know that. We need evidence, then we can start, oh, wait a second. Now, okay, now it's also possible there. We don't know that. And again, like, in any scenario, by the way, it doesn't explain what you're trying to say, because it's very useless. You're saying it's possible believing and not believing at the same time. That, to me, it doesn't make sense logically, because it's illogical.
Because when I said this, and at the same time, in order to back up my argument, I presented the unpredictable nature of particles in quantum mechanics. Rocky
No
opposed by
relation.
saying that. Okay, sorry, wait. Rocky opposed by saying that we cannot, apply, principles in quantum mechanics in macro world. And for this reason, I'm saying that thought also exists in micro world.
How do you know that?
Can you read the AI answer I just sent? Can you read it?
Is behavior of action potentials better explained? I didn't understand the question. Sorry.
Read the answer. You don't have to read the question.
The behavior of action potentials is better explained by action potentials is better explained by Sorry, what is the behavior of action potentials?
You don't know what is action potentials?
Like actions?
Why are you talking about thoughts if you don't know what thought is?
Well, I assume I know what thought is.
Thought is your action potential in your synapses when neurotransmitters transfer from one synapse to another synapse due to action potentials because of the signals that pass through axons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it says. These action potentials are macro, not micro.
Oh. It just so sorry, but it doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't have to. Science doesn't have to make sense to you, right?
Nobody, because synapses and transmitters, they are all in micro world.
Who the fuck said that?
Because you just know that when you
micro means quantum. By micro, we doesn't mean they're small. They could be small and macro. Micro means things which are explained by quantum mechanics. Macro means things which are better explained by classical physics.
when extremely small, when extremely small, we call it micro world.
But we mean quantum. You gave an example of quantum, right? You didn't give an example of micro.
No, okay, but anything extremely small is in the domain of quantum mechanics.
No, you don't know then quantum.
Yeah.
Quantum only applies to electrons and all the subatomic particles. It doesn't apply to atom itself. Atom is extremely small. It's micro. It's very small, but quantum doesn't apply to it. Relativity applies to it.
So you're saying that even if something is extremely small, it doesn't have to be in the domain of micro world?
Something has to be subatomic to be in domain of quantum.
Okay, so subatomic, you mean extremely small, right? It is what it is.
Yeah, the small. It is the synapses, the action potentials are not as small. They are small, they're not as small.
The Bluetooth device.
Okay. So there was a misunderstanding about what is a micro world. Okay. But I even see that as unnecessary to discuss about, which place is micro and which place is macro. The thing is, it's not different than saying that, oh, you know what? Life exists here, but not on Mars. So what? And you think that you're saying, oh, life exists and not exist. No, it's not like life exists here. Life doesn't exist on Mars, right? Or something exists in macro world. Or you were talking about stars. Okay, it doesn't exist in micro world. Even if it exists, that means okay, they exist in both places. It's like life exists here on Mars and life exists on another planet. Okay, so what again? Well, he's not listening.
Alrighty then. So, do we know what a thought is? Any idea?
I think Rocky just explained.
Who did?
So we have neurons and we have axons and we have synapses. So when neurotransmitters pass from one axon to another, the back end of neuron, and they pass and pass and pass. So this becomes a chain of passing of neurotransmitters, and that gives rise to thoughts.
I mean, that's where the stimulation is going on. For me, thoughts are feelings that are articulated in a communication, but they're really just feelings, I would think. In other words, how far down the chain of evolution do you have to go before you don't have organisms experiencing thought? Are we the only ones? Can we stop right there at human beings? We are the only ones with thought because there's neuronal activity going on in lots of animals.
We are the only one with prefrontal cortex. A lot of animals have other parts of brain. Have chimpanzee have in a brain which is very similar to human brain. It just doesn't have prefrontal cortex, which gives rise to rational judgments. So they cannot foresee and they cannot rationalize their decisions because of this part. They don't have it.
I've
Most of the
seen
rest
I've seen
works
lower
from them as well.
forms. I've seen lower forms of life using good judgment. They have to judge out in the wild whether it's safe to proceed or stay where you are, take
This
a
judgment
chance.
is instinctual. It is an instinctual judgment. It is not a rational judgment as if
Well,
we
you,
know.
you're going to call it another word and say it's not what it was. Instinctual. What does that mean? That means nothing. Instinctual. Eh, What it's in your DNA. Is that what you're trying to say? But again,
No.
these are chemical responses. That's really all your brain is doing, dealing in chemical responses
So,
that
for example,
produce.
if you see a lion and you run away, amygdala performs this part. All the animals have it. So you don't have to be rational to run away by seeing a lion, but you have to be rational to, you know, delay the gratification process that you get from things. And prefrontal cortex does that. No other parts does that.
I'm sure that was a nice addition to the human species, the frontal cortex. I get it. But we're not worried about frontal cortexes right now if we don't have to be. I'm just talking about thought processes. And in the wild, it's not just one block of activity. He sees a predator, he runs away. That's all he's capable of. He's capable of judging distances, of judging speed. He's capable of a lot of things. They're capable of being angry with each other and going for revenge. They're capable of a lot of things. So thoughts are really just feelings. When we talk that we have thoughts, all we're doing is articulating our feelings better than the lower forms of life can do. You know, because at least that's what we think. That's all we're doing. Thoughts are just an articulated feeling. And you
I
can do
mean,
it mentally or you can do it
feeling is
out
itself
loud.
a thought. I mean,
Huh.
everything is again, neurotransmitters, feelings, thoughts, everything. They're of the same nature.
What's the same nature?
Feelings, neurotransmitters, thoughts, everything is again chemicals. How does it matter
Hmm. Right,
if it is?
right.
Yeah.
And so I think more basic than the articulated thought, much more basic than that would be the feelings that generated that articulation, the feelings that generated it. That's really all you're doing. So yeah, it's nice that, but you can make decisions that determine your actions without articulating it at a lower level. Your chemicals are going to be doing that. The thoughts are simply just an advanced presentation of the way you feel. It's just more sophisticated, and you know, it kind of helps bring clarity. Now you can actually analyze what you're considering. But I just don't think thoughts are as magical as we think they are. So in animals, chemical actions will do a lot of things, not just see something and run away. There's a lot of brain activity going on there, and a lot of in a lot of different realms. Like I said, unless they're lying to me, I mean, animals like leopards and lions, and they have revenge, feelings of revenge in them. Uh, you can they do the whole bit, feelings of respect, caution, you name it. Their life isn't as
It
blocked
is a
out as
spectrum, it is a spectrum. So it's not like
it is.
human is
Exactly,
conscious and they're not.
exactly. It's a spectrum, but I think we all execute the spectrum, but we just don't all articulate it, about it through verbalized thoughts. You're not going to have a thought unless you put words to it, a communication to it. Otherwise, you don't have a thought. You just have a feeling. Until you actually express it in words, that then it becomes a thought.
I mean, why
That's
that rule?
that's just the way I'm looking at it. I'm not making rules. I'm not religious.
I mean, you can say it to yourself, right? You don't have to say it to somebody else.
What is your problem? We're having a discussion. Why wouldn't I say it to you?
I mean, again, that would be a thought, right? If I think something and I say it to myself, that's a thought as well.
That's a thought as well. Yes, correct. As long as it's articulated in words, you've created a thought. You've brought your feeling to a more expressed, you know, to a clearer expression. Hopefully, things get confusing too as soon as you start thinking.
I mean, we don't have to draw the lines. I don't know. I mean, they can
I,
exist. I don't know.
the basis for thought is present in animals from the beginning. You could probably get away with saying from the beginning. Even your one-celled organisms probably developed very quickly to avoid on contact something bigger than them, and they would move away. They're already having thoughts of escape, even though they're not articulating it. They're certainly moving in that direction. So the basis for thought is probably from the beginning, because it's nothing more than chemical reactions, you know? And you have chemicals from the beginning.
So you're saying thoughts are complex and simple, but it is thought.
Uh, why did I say they're simple? I said they're feelings, and when you express them, articulate them, we call it a thought. I'm not oversimplifying it, I don't think. And I'm not saying that they are simple. I know it's a complicated world. Communications are complicated.
Okay, you can define it in that way. Okay.
Well, you define it. Go ahead.
I don't want to define it because it exists.
Okay.
Why I have
Okay.
to
Okay.
put it
No,
into a box?
it exists. So why do you have to what?
Put it into a box that this is thought and this is not.
Nobody's asking you to take it and put it anywhere. I asked you to explain your idea of what it is that exists. I didn't ask you to box it up.
Okay, so I only understand on I don't understand philosophy of thought. I only understand biology of thought.
Okay.
So for me, thought is only the chemical reactions happening in your brain. I
Yeah.
don't know if you say it's feeling is different from thought. I don't get this thing. I don't know.
Well,
That's
you start. For me, I think you start. Your chemicals produce a physicality of feeling, and I just think it gets translated into thought immediately. It all happens quite quickly. Let's bear that in mind. And I'm just having fun with it. I'm not trying. I don't mean to make pronouncements about biology or anything else. But just my view of what a thought is. It's um, it's just an animation of a feeling,
okay.
a verbal, descriptive animation of a feeling. And it's you find it in advanced, much more complex organisms. That would be us. But you're going to see it in lower forms of life. Whatever's been documented, I'm not an expert on it, but there's a lot of awareness. Awareness is another thing you can't separate from thought, right? Just the
So
fact that you're aware.
if I plug on a fan and the fan starts working, is it a thought?
What kind of stupid fucking question is that?
That's what you're saying because if the lower order animals they just react to a stimuli, right? Because of the chemical mechanism of stimuli. That's what we're doing in mechanical world. There is a stimuli of pressing a button and the fan starts. I don't think it's thought because it's not as complex as it is supposed to be.
Yeah, the phenomenon that you're witnessing in something that's alive is very specific, and it ends up being geared to only promoting what works to keep them alive, and they have no choice. It takes root, and they keep going. That's all. It's different in biology from a fan. Turning on a fan. What has that got to do with this conversation? I don't understand that.
See, there is a stimuli, your chemical processes the stimuli and reacts. And you say that is a thought, right?
It's a very complex input that produces feelings and thoughts. A lot of neuronal activity.
No, in some bacterial life, it is very simple.
What's very simple?
The action of stimuli and the response to stimuli, it is not as complex as it is in humans or other bigger species. It is very simple. They don't have brain, they don't have any of that. It is just cells reacting to stimuli.
Well, you're talking about lower forms of life,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Yeah, but they have the basic fundamental working parts that will lead to thought. Because all you need for thought is to be able to articulate it and actually transmit a communication.
Do you have to have
About
conscious awareness of articulation?
you don't have the articulation, but you have conscious awareness.
So when you respond, you have to be consciously aware that you're responding.
That sounds reasonable. You have any other questions?
Because I don't think every animal who responds to stimuli have a conscious awareness that they're responding to a stimuli.
Okay, that's your conjecture. It's hard to get inside the brain of an animal.
No, they're
So,
animals without brain.
what?
I mean, sorry, not animals, but microorganisms without brains.
I thought you were going to say you are living proof.
Yeah, I mean that is okay.
That's
That there are
okay.
that there are animals
I
without
don't mind.
brains.
I don't mind it. I don't mind
No,
that.
no, no, no. It's not the case, obviously.
See, I don't mind if you call me brainless, brain
No,
dead, because
I'm just joking. Obviously,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm joking. I'm taking it as a joke as well.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool guys. Yeah,
You
like
can't resist the joke.
we have Aditya wanna say something, I think.
Hello.
Ah,
Oh, you know him.
no.
Okay.
Uh, the name reminded me of Aditi. Have you seen that name?
DT, no.
Yeah. Let's see.
Mm,
I believe it's a girl. I don't even know, but I just know I like them.
mm,
Okay.
I don't see gender. I'm
Ray.
hmm,
binary fluid. Uh,
Okay.
whatever.
yeah.
What's
Gender
up,
fluid, I think. Yeah.
Aditya Ray,
Yeah.
Aditya Rai, Rai.
Yeah. It's Aditya. Just call me whatever. So you are talking about thought, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, more
so
thoughts.
I want
Okay. I'm off.
so so I wanted to share just my guess. Like it's just a guess, which is like thought is language.
Yeah.
Why do I say that thought is language? Because just like we say things in to other people, similarly we say some things to ourselves constantly, 24 into 7. We are constantly saying something to ourselves. It's like a mental chatter. If you try to observe your thoughts, they are frequently in the language, in your native language. Like for example, my native language is Hindi. So when I think in Hindi.
Okay.
So if there was someone without any language at all, like if someone was not taught a language, I don't think they would be able to think. So that's why I think that thought is language. Thought is a
Yeah.
product of language.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just an articulated feeling. But and I don't mean to make it sound so simple. I mean, the brain. If you talk about humans, the brain does so much more than just what I just said. I mean, it starts to analyze it, improve it, bring in different references. You trigger a varied response to every thought you have. You trigger a varied response. We consider things 8 ways from Sunday when we say them. Sometimes, not all the time, obviously. So it's pretty complex.
Yeah.
But
even
Yeah.
neuroscience has not understood the all of brain, so obviously we can't hope to
Not yet.
understand it. We are. I don't think any of us here is a neuroscientist, right?
Well,
We are just norm.
that would be the goal. You want to understand the brain
Hmm.
completely. You want to do
Hmm.
that. You want to do that.
Hmm.
That's the root of
Hmm.
everything. Everything. The
Hmm.
root of everything is the brain. The
Hmm.
only reason why anything matters to us to
Hmm.
even discuss is because of the brain.
Hmm.
We wouldn't have problems if we didn't have a brain.
Hmm. We wouldn't have a problem, but we also would not be different from animals. We would not
No,
lead a good life, you know. Uh, Brain is
no,
the
you
only
would
reason.
no, you wouldn't be like animals. Animals have brains. You'd be just a mound of dirt.
Yeah, that's not a good life.
You know, unless you're actually able to maintain a biological living status by pumping blood and I don't know whatever else. I didn't I didn't mean to get technical about it,
Hmm.
but
What is so
my
interesting?
point is
Hmm.
and I'm going to repeat something that I've said a few times. Sorry to repeat that they used to say that all roads lead to Rome. But now the truth is, all roads lead to the brain. All roads.
Hmm. Indeed.
You, do you know that expression? All roads lead to Rome. Do you know that expression?
Yeah,
You
it's a
do.
common expression. Yeah.
What does it mean?
Everything in the end leads to Rome. What, like every path, every single path in the end comes down to that.
Yeah, yeah, basically. I mean, back in the day, Rome was pretty big,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And so a lot of people were attached to Rome,
Hmm.
one way or another. And you know the expression and you know there was probably a lot of traveling to Rome. I don't know.
Hmm.
I'd like to know what the city of Rome actually looked like. Was it full of markets and foods
Hmm.
and I wonder what was going on in Rome.
Hmm.
So crazy.
And what is so interesting to me is that how differently, like brain is one, but it is understood so differently by a psychologist or a neuroscientist. Because
Yeah.
if you talk to a psychologist, they are usually talking about things like thoughts, beliefs, uh, so things like this, your thought patterns and these kind of things. But when you talk to a neuroscientist, they are not thinking about this. What they are thinking about is neurons, neural connections.
Yeah.
So they
You
both
get
understand it differently. Like psychologists understand it from the outside, and the neuroscientists understand it from a biological level.
well once it becomes an expressed thought, it's up for debate. Um, they what they need to look at is the physical causation that occurs in the brain that produces what you think. But they have to keep it pretty basic. And eventually they'll learn and they'll be able to manipulate. And we'll get lot of things done. And the other aspect is because we're talking about intelligence and proper thinking, supercomputing is the other um, goal that we have to accomplish because intelligence is the key to the future, a proper key to the future. You have to think that way. It's not necessarily true. We're awfully aggressive and hostile and violent, but we're capable of the opposite as well.
Hmm.
we're capable of the opposite. Intelligence is the actual key to everything, to everything. And we're pretty intelligent, but we're creating super intelligence. It's called a game changer, whatever that means. Right, Bulldog? Whatever the fuck I'm saying. Bulldog, ¿qué te pasa? Oh,
What topic? What's the
but
topic?
nothing. We're just, it was, brains, thoughts, uh, stuff.
Well, I think we've come to the conclusion there's a lot of people out there with no brains.
It's possible.
I speak to them on here every day. I don't know. I think it's some of them are willfully ignorant, and that's why I go, well, I can't tell straight away. I don't know, so.
Yeah, I mean, again, we were talking about boring ass biological
Brains, yeah.
scientific shit.
Mm.
Not exactly about the morons that are running around. We know about them.
Well, look at all the screaming and shouting that we've done with the idiots on here,
Yeah, it's been seen
and heard. And it doesn't matter. Like, you can get AI to say, no, that's not true. And they're still going to fight it.
Yeah.
I always ask the question in the side chat, are we made from clay? And the AI says, no, we're not made from clay.
Uh-oh.
But,
there's going to be, what do you call those? Where it's a decree that anybody can kill you when they find you. What's that called? It's an Arabic word, obviously. I'm looking for it.
Yeah, I know the word.
Yeah. What is it?
Fatwa.
Oh yeah. Yeah, fatwa. Yeah.
Salman Rushdie's got a fatwa out on him. And I think Donald Trump has too, but I did go to a couple of websites, but I don't know if they're legit or not. I don't know all of these websites. Some of them are just, bullshit websites, and I look at it and I'm going, I don't know if that one there's real. Some people say it's real, some people say no, it's bullshit.
Okay, the word isn't supposed to really include murder. I think it's been co-opted to mean
Kill.
Yeah, but the actual
same thing.
Well, if you look at the definition, it's not as violent as that, but I guess it gets carried to that point.
Well, the conclusion's the same in the end, isn't it?
Well, it can be, yeah.
No more playing golf on, Mar-a-Lago once you've been unalived.
So let me see. Oops. It's the wrong fucking window. So, let's see. Where did he go? I think he left. Okay.
Who are you talking to?
I forgot his name, but I know I don't see it here. I don't know. It's a couple of words.
What were you just talking about, like smart people and dumb people?
the brain and
Oh,
thought,
well, that's smart people and dumb people. I know.
thoughts, what a thought was,
Mm.
and stuff like that. So I did scan my news feed. I don't think I saw anything. I mean, Trump takes a lot of abuse in the media. You know,
He deserves every bit of it, doesn't he?
he probably deserves something. You know, I don't like to play the exact same song that these critics are playing because I think they're a little bit tilted. Uh, you know,
I think fucking Trump's tilted.
yeah, Trump is also very tilted. I mean, I've called him out as being tilted before he was ever president.
Yeah, I didn't know much about him prior to that. Also, I knew he's like, okay, he's just got a lot of money and he's a developer. I had no idea, but when he became president, he exposed himself, and then he became a celebrity on TV.
Well,
And that was
he
like it was
exposed
game
him.
over then.
Oh yeah, he did all that. Yeah, he had a persona already kind of established, but you really saw it come to bloom in the debate time frame. We had all those Republicans on stage along with Trump, and that's when I knew this fucking guy's not right. There's something wrong with this guy.
Yeah, well, I know, me too. Like I had no idea. If you said to me prior to the election, I'd say, "Oh no, he's a businessman," and I've seen him on TV a couple of times, but he really showed his true colours when it came to what's going on. And it's like, oh my god, is
Yeah,
this for real?
yeah, he's
And
got
then
some
but it
colors.
never ends. It never ends.
He's got some colors.
And you know what? I've heard it from his own voice. The things he says. If someone told me that's why all these YouTube channels have popped up, it's only because of him. If he was just an ordinary president, I guarantee you, I wouldn't be. I'd be going, I don't care. I'm not interested. But because he's such a maniac, that's why all these YouTube channels have popped up about him, and it never ends. Like it goes on at fucking 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with him tweeting, and it's not one tweet. It's like he goes on this fucking rampage, and then it's like, okay, more videos are going to be coming out, and that's why I can't keep up because of the idiot fucking things that he says. I couldn't even come up with some of these things. Like get your fucking face carved in Mount Rushmore. Who'd ever come up with that stupid idea? Oh, Donald Trump wants it.
Trying to see if there's anything else.
I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to bring this past year. Like you got the Statue of Liberty. I reckon Trump's going to outdo it and go, oh, the statue of Trump. I want to put it next to the Liberty and I want it bigger. There we go. That's my prediction.
Are we at war with Iran or not? Did they declare war on us, or
No, they've gone underground for a while.
no declarations? Okay.
After those little bomb fucking drops, they've gone running at the moment. So I don't know if they've told all the sleeper cells to go out and start blowing up bridges and shit like that. But we'll find out in due course.
Mobile gaming. Woo. It's a lion or a motorbike. Never have the answer. He left. Legend. Oh. Okay.
Hello, bro.
Hello, bro.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am good. Where are you from, bro?
I'm from heaven. What about you?
I'm from Tajikistan.
Cool. Okay.
How are you?
I'm okay.
What's your name?
It's written. Little sober.
What is your name?
Amatagoni. Hello. Mamata. Mansa Satan. Who? Santosh. I remember you, Santosh.
Hello.
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 Hey.
Oh, nice to meet you, all of you. Nice to meet you.
Same
We
day.
heard that, man.
What?
Hello, I am a God man.
I'm not sure about that.
Hello,
You want to talk to other
Hello.
people, I think.
how are you doing, all of you?
You're doing well. How about you?
He has to type right now. Anyway. You're eating something.
Didn't you guys read before joining the room?
They
What is
don't.
topic? They just talk nonsense after joining.
That happens. That happens. Unfortunately,
Try to read
that
when you're
is.
joining a room.
Okay, guys,
Some
what
people are
are you
busy.
discussing?
As you see, some people are eating, some people are doing other stuff. We're not discussing anything right now. I just created this room after another room.
So means you are doing streaming, live streaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's your chance. You can prove your gods. Do it.
Actually,
What
I
if
am
he's
very
an atheist?
interested in the. Actually, I'm very interested in this topic, but there is
Mhm.
problem is that I can't speak English very much. So
Very
that's
much.
why means I can't speak properly English fluently.
You can
So
listen,
that's
man. Don't
why,
worry.
Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
yeah. So I was, there is one question in mind, like you are discussing about morality, agnosticism. So what is difference between faith and belief? Is they are same or not? Hello.
Hello. I don't have a good answer
I
for that.
Can you explain me about what is difference between faith and belief?
Uh,
Are they similar or different?
anyone is free to answer this question.
Okay, let's
Probably
change the question.
no one wants to answer this question. Yeah, maybe you should change the question.
Yeah, yeah, let's change the
No, I
question.
got a call. Please, what's the question actually? Can you repeat, please?
Is there a
I
difference
was
between
asked.
faith and belief?
What's the difference between faith and belief? I think both are
Yeah.
shit. Because I believe when you know something, you don't have to believe. So, and faith is completely nonsense because you have a faith on something which has no evidence. And why we're using this faith word? Because I'm using this word because I don't know the real answer. I don't know the real explanation behind it. That's why I'm using this word called faith. So it's pure nonsense. We should stop using this word. Yeah, I have faith on it. Nobody cares what kind of
Mhm.
things you have faith on it. That's your personal belief. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
Kash, I disagree. Well,
Why?
we need the word belief because we can't claim to know
Uh,
everything, right? We have a lot of things we can't accept, but doesn't mean we know that.
no,
No,
it's
we
not.
don't know. So when it comes
Like
to even your
in
parents, you have the belief. It's not knowledge, like, or you can't be certain about that. And there are many other things that we
no,
just
I can
believe.
do I can do a DNA test.
You can do it, but till you do that, it will be just a belief. Or you don't act like, hey, I don't know, like maybe they're not my parents. Like you don't behave like that. You behave as if they're your parents. You believe in that. But still, it's not
So
knowledge
what's
till you
your
have the DNA test. So we need that word. I think for practicality, we
what,
need it.
then in your perspective, what is the difference between faith and belief? Why
No,
belief
I
is
didn't
important?
mention about fate. You said no and belief. I was talking about those terms.
Okay, fine. Knowing and
I
belief.
don't know
Okay.
the difference between belief and fate.
No, faith is a blind faith,
Fate is a blind fate is
and
a very,
belief.
very circular explanation.
Actually, it's
Fate is
confusing.
fate.
How can you?
You shouldn't explain the word with the same word.
Why not?
Because your purpose is to explain the word and you're using the same word in the explanation. The circular. Anyway, that's another topic.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
So
sure.
I think faith is a belief without evidence. I mean, you can believe without evidence, that is faith. But if you believe Big Bang, you cannot know Big Bang happened, but you believe it happened because there is good evidence, but it's not a fact. So belief
Mr.
itself
Rocky,
is inherently not bad, I think.
Yeah,
Mr.
that's what
Rocky,
I wanted to say.
Mr. Rocky.
That
You want
I
to
Rocky
say
is
think
something?
it,
listening
I
you.
think
Go
it is
on.
best answered by Rocky.
What?
Someone is
Mr.
trying
Rocky, I
to talk
have
to
one
you.
question for you.
Yeah.
Are you God?
No, I am the
Oh,
father of.
you're
Oh.
I
great,
created
great
him.
than God. Yeah,
I created him.
really?
Yeah.
But I can kill you. You know?
No, you can't. Try.
No, I can.
Just do it if you can. I know you cannot.
Or
Right now.
okay, or
Do it
other
right
people,
now.
or other people
No
can
one
kill
can.
you.
No one can. I'm telling you, no one can.
If you guys are in the same country, Rocky can see you. You should know that because you're threatening him right now.
How crime is becoming so popular in the world? How people kill everyone? How?
People kill
Can you tell
Because
me?
everyone.
because the God I created, he doesn't work well. I told him make a better universe, but he didn't make a good universe. I'll tell him to make a better universe next
Rocky,
time.
Rocky, this is modern world, you know. If I will give someone a lot of money, this person can kill you easily.
Are you threatening
You know?
Then
him?
give them a lot
No,
of money and I'll ask them to kill me if you can. Let's see.
no, actually, the
No?
thing is, killing is bad for sure. But the thing is that we created this society where law exists, where this kind of things exist. Killing is bad, our so-called morality. But in actual nature, nobody cares. You can get killed. We can kill each other. That's how we survive. So we created this society. Now we have rules. Then we can say it in our sitting in our room. Yeah, killing is bad because, but the nature doesn't work like that.
No, I just telling about like examples for Rocky because this person told me like I am greater than God.
No, he was just
That's
This
joking.
true.
This is interesting
I'm not
words,
joking. I'm serious. I'm serious.
You know, some people have different opinions about you because you don't strong, you don't clever than someone. You are just person, you know.
Okay.
Do you have any talent? Like
Yeah.
you create someone,
I
you
created
can
God.
you can create atmosphere or you can create someone or
I
you can
created
create
God and God
something.
created everything. So I created everything indirectly.
Okay, if you are God, you can
I'm not
create
God. I
code
created God.
right now.
I created God.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
No, you're just stupid. Because
Okay.
okay, okay,
If I
you're
am stupid, then God is stupid because I created God. Doesn't matter.
um all people know about you're stupid in your mind.
Thank you. Thank you. I accept that.
You're always welcome.
I think Rocky is saying that humans created the God. So that's why I think he is saying about that.
Yeah, human created the concept of God.
Yeah, that's why Rocky means Rocky wants to say that.
No, people, Akash, philosopher, and other people. How person can create God?
Like we created the stories regarding the God that are
God
just
never create.
mhm.
God, God never created by someone.
How do you know that?
Can
What's
you
your evidence? What if God is just a story? And we know that stories are created by humans.
Philosopher. Uh, are you learner? I think yeah.
Learner of what?
He's the owner.
Different religions.
And I don't intentionally learn other religions right now.
Yeah.
But why?
No, just I'm telling you. I am asking you like you are
Most likely,
learner
I
like
know your religion, so but let's suppose I'm learning other religions too. What's your
Hmm.
point?
No, I'm just joking. I'm just asking
Okay.
because in your
And actually,
account, right, like philosopher. That's why I asked.
actually, data shows atheist people know more religion than the actual religion people do. They never read their books, but atheist people do read.
Possible, yeah. That's a good point. Okay. We don't get an answer for our questions. No problem. Oh, okay. He's busy. Let's skip that person. We have Ejaz. Okay, Santos, you started randomly typing. This time I'm gonna block you. You'll need another account for the next time.
Why did you block him?
I just wanted.
Why are you not blocking on Rocky?
Just I don't want.
Okay.
It's like why you're not eating ice cream right now?
No, I'm eating ice cream
Why you're not eating sunflower seeds right now?
because I eat already.
You ate already. You can eat again.
I will look its quality. If this things will be quality, and I can eat without
About
I want.
quality. Yeah, and I look at the people. If I see some quality, I let them talk. If I don't see that, I block them.
Don't talk, then you will block.
Yeah.
I see. This is good because this is wrong, and people have to speak, have to conversation with people.
We are having already. So. Okay. Hira. Amjad. Hey, R2. You want to say something?
Do you know about atheism?
Yeah, I know about atheism.
Can you explain about this?
Atheism is about not believing a God exists.
Um,
Questions for who, Rocky?
For Bella.
For Bella. I don't think she agrees.
How can she not agree to Prophet? Prophet said that she has to agree.
What prophet?
Prophet Muhammad.
Oh, you're assuming that she's Muslim.
She sounds like one.
Sounds like.
Yeah.
So you're assuming.
Christians are.
No, I also feel the same.
Like we're three here feel the same, but we might be wrong. But anyway.
And she sounds Central Asian somehow. I don't know.
Rocky. I told you about your mind.
Yeah, it's okay. I have no brain, but Prophet Muhammad says, women are deficient in brain. They're less intelligent. Do you agree?
And Allah says in the Quran, some people look like evil,
No, but do you agree or
Do
not?
you
Answer
agree?
my question
Do
first.
you
Answer
agree?
my question.
Do you agree? Do you agree?
Yeah, answer my question first, and then I'll answer your question.
No, this can be
No,
answer for your
Allah said
question.
doesn't matter. What Prophet said that is more important.
She doesn't want to have a conversation, so why you guys should waste your time? She doesn't want to answer any question. And she calls you brainless. She calls you evil. What else?
I think that's something to be proud of if Muslim calls you brainless. I would take it as an honor of badge.
Why?
I mean, a Muslim calls you brainless. There is something in you that they find. I don't know.
And merely those are just words. So it define nothing.
Sure, that's why he doesn't care.
Yeah. Like if you're really taking offense on those kind of stuff, then you need to be more.
Then you need to get over your insecurity, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
We invented language. Now people are using it.
Wow, that was a surprise. Mostly it was always like this. When they're muted, they type something bullshit and then they live. But this
Yeah,
time,
because they're not getting the attention, no?
Okay. Appreciate that. Okay, the other guys also don't want to talk about these topics. Here,
But I'm still confused about this thing. Like, what is the difference between knowing and believing?
knowing and believing. Oof. I think there's some difference, but when you dig deeply, they
No,
become
no.
similar.
Are you saying what I actually experienced firsthand? That will be come as a knowing, or what other people say, and I believe in it.
An
So
example?
that's called belief.
Like,
What?
for example, expansion of Big Bang we know happens, but we believe expansion of universe happens, we know. Big Bang we believe happened, we don't know if it happened.
Okay.
And I try to ride a cycle. I'm not able to do it. So that is my knowledge. I'm not able to do it.
You're not able to do
That is
what?
not a belief. Not able to ride a cycle. That is my first-hand knowledge, and that can call as a knowing, or yeah, that I think that can call as a knowing. I know this
I don't
thing.
understand
Okay,
what
I
you're
cannot
saying,
ride a cycle.
Akash. Riding
What?
cycle, what does that mean?
I just give an example.
Yeah, but what does it
A
mean?
first
Like, I don't
hand.
understand what does it mean.
No, I'm trying to understand what is the difference between believing, what things can be called as my belief and what things can be called as that I know.
Okay, Rocky just gave an example. Did you think about that?
Yeah, I heard that. That's what I'm saying only.
Do you agree?
No, he
with
he
that?
talks about believing. I was saying about knowing.
Man, you're not listening carefully, probably.
No, he talked about Big Bang. No.
Yeah, he talked about Big Bang, but he gave two examples where he believes in something, where he knows something.
Okay, that time I think did mention that.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Rocky. People claim that the universe is expanding, and do you think you know that, or you believe in what people say? Let me make it more complex.
So I would say it is a testimony based on empirical evidence, and I think it is a testimony that is better than a testimony based on inference.
How
So
do you
even
know
though it
that?
is a testimony, but okay.
How do you know that it's based on empirical? What if those people just lied?
Because I can see through my own telescope and I can measure my own things.
You can't see the expansion with the telescope.
I mean, you can measure the red light shift, right?
I don't think you can measure that also
Not through
with the
my own
telescope.
telescope. I think you can. You have to get it from James Webb or
But you
Hubble or
didn't do
something.
that, right?
Not yet.
So then why? So why you claim to know that? So don't you think you
See,
just
every
believe in it?
knowledge is based on testimony by that regard. But I am keeping it aside for this argument. Like,
But not
you can
every
say it's a
knowledge, right?
testimony.
You don't have the testimony to know that there's a cup on your table, right? It doesn't require any testimony.
I would say so, yeah. But
Yeah.
knowledge about the universe and the things you can't see, I think these knowledge, like the knowledge which is field of expertise that you're not an expert in.
So the only thing you can do is just to believe.
But it is possible to know, right? The expansion of
Okay,
universe. Maybe
something is possible to know is a different thing, right? It's possible to know a God exists if there's a God also.
okay. So let's keep me aside. Just okay. Take a scientist who observed red light shift. He knows universe is expanding,
Yes.
and he believes Big Bang happened because he cannot observe it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay, I think that one helps. Akash. Hey. So that's the part,
Yeah.
belief and knowledge, that he was trying to explain.
Got it.
The problem with the knowledge for me is it can turn to a belief if
I
questioned
want to
deeply.
know a difference between two people.
Okay.
That is one believer, and he believes in book, that is holy book. Whatever that holy book says, that person believes in it.
Okay.
And there's another person, he don't believe, he's a atheist, and he don't believe in a holy book, but he believes in science. And whatever science says, he believes in it. What's the difference then?
What's the
because he is
difference?
thinking the holy book and the holy book is the authority, and the other person is thinking science is the authority. Both are not verifying anything. They just believe in something. Then in that context, they are just same with opposite.
Okay, this is very similar. Yeah, it's very similar. But like, do you know what is the difference here? Science tries to explain what we already can observe, the universe. It works about the universe. Okay, it works about something that already exists, that we have clear evidence for it, right?
No,
Tries
no,
to
I'm not
explain
talking
how
about
it works.
people like you.
And I
I'm
understand. I
not
understand.
talking people like you. Yeah.
But, okay. There's some people who believe in everything that they hear, right? But again, like
Yeah, they think if
as
a
I
scientist
just
is saying something.
tried to question
Yeah.
Rocky, they're not that much different in a sense, right? They also believe what the scientists are saying.
Yeah.
And don't you think like religious books are not falsifiable, but scientific knowledge is falsifiable? So maybe you didn't falsify it, but many people did try. So it is more. It is supposed to be more accurate than a religious book. Maybe it
No,
is
no,
not.
you are trying to verify the source and everything. That I'm not talking people like you. I'm talking about those people who just believe
No,
anything whatever scientist says.
even those people, they believe in science because it is falsifiable. Maybe they didn't look for anything, but they know
No,
many people do look for things.
there are a lot of pseudoscientists who
No, we are not talking
says
about
water
pseudoscience,
has a
right?
memory. No, no, no. They feel like it. There was a person came, if you remember. He was saying like, "No, I don't believe in God, but I saw this. There was a scientist talking about water memory,
So
and
he's
he
not
also
believing
believe in
in science,
paranormal."
right? He's believing in pseudoscience then. He's not believing in science. And we were talking about belief in science.
Okay.
There are many falsifiable claims in religions too.
What you said?
No,
Sorry.
it is falsifiable. But if you falsify, would they change their opinion about it?
That's something else. Yeah.
So if in science, if you falsify, if you give an evidence, they would change their opinion about it.
Yeah. Yeah, the people who take science or who value science, they're more open-minded and they're not stubborn. For example, now they started questioning Big Bang Theory. We're not saying, hey, come on, it can't be possible. What are you saying? Big Bang is the best. We are not saying like this, right? Like if people started finding something, then okay. If the evidence shows that, like we follow what you guys are saying.
It is falsifiable, and if you falsify, they would change. Maybe religious claims are falsifiable, but if you falsify, they don't change. I think that's the basic difference. And Big Bang, I think, it is still the basic, the best explanation. We don't have a better explanation yet. Maybe it is not as certain as it used to be.
You
It is still the best
you,
explanation.
you were saying falsifiable. If this like mostly scientific theories are falsifiable, so that's why it can be true. So there are a lot of laws in science, which is very much verified. So it called the law now, like the law of gravity and stuff.
Yeah,
They are
because they're
not
testable.
falsifiable.
They're testable.
Testable. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, any other question?
Do you have any question?
Uh, Actually, I was thinking about that. Like, if God exists, then people also say that ghosts are also exist. So, are there ghosts or not?
No, if you believe in one bullshit, you're gonna believe all the bullshit. If God doesn't exist, how ghosts can exist?
They don't
Miss,
follow each other. If God doesn't exist, that doesn't mean there's no ghosts.
No, we are talking about supernatural thing, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
when
God is the
one
same territory of the ghost territory. Both are like they have the same qualities,
same
kind of.
qualities. Really?
Like yeah, they can do miracles. They are not. They cannot. You cannot see them.
Okay, but just
Kind
one
of same
doesn't
quality.
exist. That doesn't mean the other doesn't exist. Also,
No, how like it doesn't matter. Yeah, you can say that like that. But we also don't have any evidence for ghost. Also, no?
but that's another topic,
It's
man.
logic. Yeah,
That's another
but he
topic.
was talking
Like,
about ghost, so yeah,
yeah.
that's what I said.
Yeah, means that God, like ghosts, are not proved by science. So we can also think like that, that ghost doesn't exist.
Yeah, mostly people who have ghost experiences, they have their personal experiences, anecdotes.
Yeah, yeah.
Anecdotes are just a personal view. That doesn't
I am saying that it
that
is
doesn't
similar
count
to.
as an evidence.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. I am saying that it is similar to say that God exists. Like if I am saying ghost exists, it is like a same. I say God exists. So
Mm,
means these both concepts are related to each other. Like
no, if you that's why I said no. If you believe in one bullshit, you're gonna believe all the bullshit.
yeah,
So no one coming, no believers.
actually my
I
English
think
is
everyone
not so good. Actually
no
my
believe.
English is not so good. I have really many topics and questions, but I can't like ask and tell. I explain that.
Mm.
Okay. What question you have? You think really important, but you cannot ask?
Like there are many questions that are related to your
Okay. One
topic.
question. Cherry pick. What's your native language?
Okay, like uh, as we're discussing about belief and faith, uh, I think belief is something that may be true or not, but it is more logical than uh, it is more logical. It is based on more logical thing, and faith is something that we accept everything without proof. It is faith.
No, I can believe in God also. I can say that.
Yeah. So, but
So
many people,
how is logic?
my question is that many people say that if you have faith, then you can experience the God. So, should I have faith first or believe in God first? Should I
Faith
have?
is a subset of belief, I think. They're not mutually exclusive.
Can you explain that?
So belief, faith is, so when you have a faith, you have a belief as well. So it's not like you have to have a belief and then you cannot have a faith. It is a subset. It's not mutually exclusive. It is not different from belief. It is part of it.
Like some people say that if you want to like experience God or if you want to like follow religion, you must have first faith. Then my question is that if there is nothing, if there is, I don't have any proof of God, how can I like faith on it? This is my question.
So they're asking you to believe something without evidence when they say you have to have faith.
But they are saying that before experiencing God, you have to believe, you
Yeah,
have to faith.
yeah.
So
So you can ask them and say, why
how
should I
can?
believe in something without evidence? Ask them this question: why should I believe in something without
Yeah,
evidence?
this is counter question by the people who believe on religion things. So I was asking, how can I like explain them that explain?
First of all, you don't have to explain everything to everyone. That's not your job. And the second thing is, like, if you really wanna do this, then first try to study more. Try to know this thing, what you're gonna say. Then go for it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And it's
I would
not
say
your job
just
to
ask
explain
one
everything.
question. Just ask one
Yeah.
question. Why should I believe in something without evidence? Give me one reason to believe in something without evidence.
No, that's more than enough for them.
I think Rocky is right. I think it is more. It is very good to ask them about that. Do you think that the event that are happened in a religion, any religion, were they true or just created by human?
It's just stories.
Like many people said that there was a Muhammad, there was a Hussein who sacrificed himself for Islam. Are these things like
Yeah,
happened
they're gonna
really
tell
happened?
this kind of cheesy stories to brainwash. Like you will be thinking, no, my
But
God
many
did
but
this to
many
me, so I have to.
but it is also in history that there is a history about Islam. So
Yeah, there can be a history about Islam, but not everything has to be true, no?
okay, Miss, you are saying that history is
You
created
have to
by like
critical,
people.
yeah. You have to critical about everything. History can be wrong too. They can say whatever they want. Like they can use this kind of argument to convert you to believe, to give you that belief to you're gonna believe in their God. You're gonna convert. That's why they're gonna use this kind of argument. And you're gonna ask this only question: what is the evidence? Why should I believe?
Okay.
I think philosopher, everyone is scared because of you. Nobody is joining.
Because of me. I don't think like I became someone that they would be scared of in 2 days.
Yeah.
I'm the same
No, they think
person
like
as 3 days before and the other days.
no, they will think like whatever the argument I will throw at him, he will just refute all everything. So they were like, there's no point. I'm not gonna go in this room.
Maybe. But I don't think things change radically in 2 days. I simply believe we were created by something. Okay, what's the evidence for that? Then from nothing? What doesn't mean anything. Oh my god. I don't believe we just popped into existence. Yeah, like we didn't just popped into existence, right? That's clear for us. But the belief part in a creator, what's the evidence for that? Just because you don't have a creator, that doesn't mean you popped into existence, okay? This is called false dichotomy. Either someone created me or I came from nothing. No, that's not the case, okay? That doesn't work like that. It's illogical. If you don't have a creator, that doesn't mean you came from nothing. Maybe, not maybe, definitely you have some causes, right? We see the causes. I see that you have father and mother. Those are the causes. If there's no God, that doesn't mean you popped into existence, right? We know where you come from. You simply believe without faith. Faith without works is just. I don't understand what you're saying. You're the believer here. I'm an atheist. Anyway, okay, guys, what do you think? Should I create again, or
Yeah, I think
maybe
so.
we should end it here? What do you want?
Your choice.
Uh, I will create for the last time. Okay.
Okay.
I will use my Okay. Okay. I'll jump into seconds. Someone was there before I was here. Wow.
It was so crazy, man. Oh my
You're
god, what's this?
so crazy, man. I think you guys are crazy.
Hey mom, what is doing?
Okay, short, Jenny.
Oh, okay, now you go. Mom, now you go.
I think you go. Okay. This is not surprise. The surprise part is there aren't many people like that. They were joining a lot. Okay, I complained about that a lot today. Maybe I should stop complaining like a little boy. Okay. R2. We have Ali. We have the busy person. Yep. Let's see. Let's see.
Akash is here. Welcome, Akash.
Ancient aliens created us. Possibly. Reflect on it, bro. We don't have evidence for that. Come on. I reflected on it before, and I don't think that's the case. We don't have evidence for that. Is there anyone here who believes that we have been created by aliens?
I think no.
I think no. Okay. What about you?
Is my voice coming?
What?
Is my voice coming?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. No, there is no evidence. Like same like God. Alien is also a concept that we don't have any evidence for, so we cannot say anything.
But I
And
think both concepts are wrong.
no, it's not wrong or wrong. We don't know anything about aliens. But the thing is that there is a hypothesis, like there's a theory in biology, like we are so much, very much complicated human, like our cells is like so much complicated. So there is a very less chance, ki there is another planet, there is another intelligent human beings, like this kind of species can be existed. So it's a very less chance. It is a very sure chance ki we can be the only one intelligent species in this whole universe. So because our cells, our mind thinking process is very complicated, and that is not very, like, rarely can be happen. Not a daily thing. There is a possibilities.
Yeah,
Some
I
and
think there are possibilities, but right now we don't have enough like proofs.
yeah, enough evidence or any proof. No, nothing like that.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that uh, these are wrong because
But
right now we don't have.
compared to God, alien is have more chances to exist
Yeah,
compared to God. Yeah.
there are possibilities, but right now we don't have sufficient. proofs.
Yeah, we don't have it. So any other person, believers, where are you guys?
I'm here. What do you want to know?
Oh, welcome, welcome.
I'm at home. Hello,
You
guys.
guys wanna defend your gods?
What do you think?
What kind
What
of
I
God?
think, that doesn't matter. What do you think? That what matters.
Are you a believer?
No, I'm not a believer. Are you?
No, I'm an atheist.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I'm saying the God, you can say believe on them. Why it's possible? Why I'm saying it?
What are you
Because
saying? Sorry.
I'm saying a God is not the mean like I'm feeling totally like after closing my eyes like I have to see my God is a unbelievably. So I'm saying like believe as in God for your moral what they did for you. Like I follow the Hinduism, so on that time, what you think on there, you will be
What is
get a
moral? What
new
is moral?
morals from there. You
What
are
is moral?
getting some
What is
what?
moral? What is moral?
Okay, so what do you think the immoral? What is that?
No. I ask you a question. You answer me
The
now.
defining of moral, like if you are going for moral, the defining of moral. So it depends on person to person.
Yeah. So that is
Yeah.
subjective, no?
So they sometimes the moral like if you are just like for a children who is just
No.
like
I am not
four to
interested.
two, two to
I'm
three
not
years old.
interested in that.
Okay, I'm
I'm
saying
just
but
saying.
2 to 3 years
I'm just
old
saying.
people, a child. Yeah.
I'm just saying. If you're saying morality comes from God, then I can argue with you. If you're saying it's just subjective, then I have
No,
nothing to say.
I'm not saying
Then
it's
there's no
coming
point
from
of
God,
discussion.
but we are thinking, but how we are getting moral? If you just going to read some Mahabharata or these other things, we are responsible
Mahabharata,
to do this
Mahabharata,
type of
there is
thing.
no.
Morality
There
more or
is
less
On there, what you
inherited.
think?
No, morality
I'm
more or
not
less.
believing.
No,
What I'm saying,
morality
I'm
more
not
or less
believing on God.
inherited
I'm
by
not
your
saying you have to be. You also have to believe on there. But I'm saying, if you are reading that, so you are getting a morality. What is going on your earth? You like what you think like morality. What you have to do for that. What you have to do for the like for the good for everyone, not for you only.
You're saying from Mahabharata you get moral. What kind of morals you get from there? Because you're gonna kill your brothers.
Okay, so what do you think? Like, for killing a one person who is not a
No,
what's
I'm
religion are
asking
you
you.
follow? What religion are you
You.
follow? So can you tell
I'm
first?
asking you. I'm asking you. You're gonna kill your
Which
brother because
religion are you
Mahabharata.
follow? Firstly, can you tell that?
Mahabharata was a
Are
was
are
a
you
war
following
between
God?
families.
Okay,
Yeah,
normally.
they're gonna kill each other. They're brothers actually. They're cousin brothers. They're gonna kill each other. That what kind of morality you're getting out of it?
Okay, so if any person has come in your family, your cousin is going to kill about your family, like yeah, he's doing everything for you, like yours, like you can say your wife, he's just forcing
Yeah,
your wife to for
that's
the
I'm gonna
doing
do
the
for my
immoral things,
survival.
doing immoral
That's
things.
I'm
So
gonna
on that
do that.
time, what you will do? What you will do
No,
on that
that's
time?
I'm gonna do. That's I'm gonna do for my survival and for my survival of the family. That doesn't
Yeah,
need. I don't
you
need to
you
believe
will
a
do
story for that.
that for yourself only. You will not go to
Yeah.
protect your family, but so you are not going to
I'm not
protect your
saying.
wife.
I'm not saying that. Why you're straw manning? I'm not saying that. I'm saying if if I if I want to save myself and I find my family, I don't need any storybook to tell me that. It's for survival. It's basic. I don't need any
It's
storybook.
basic. How you got it basic? How you got it
Yeah,
basic?
because if
How you
someone
got
wants
it?
to kill me, I'm gonna save
It's
myself.
the more
I'm
like
gonna save
if
my
you are going
family.
for
It's
other country.
basic.
I'm okay. I'm what I'm saying. If you are just moving to other country like US or anywhere I'm getting. So on there, what you are saying, there is a no father. Like on there, you are saying the father is no means for a 1 month you are getting a new father. In a new months you are getting new father. It depends. It's very normal in US. So in
Yeah,
India, why it happens
they're
like you have
they're
only one father? What's the moral on there? What's the moral on there? What you are
what
thinking
you're
like you have
asking.
why
I'm
you
not
have
even
no
understanding
like
your question.
not more than 5 or 6 No, why you don't have a 6 or 5 or 6 more than a
Because
hundred
I'm
of these
born in a
others? Why you don't?
born. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a moral of
Born
the
in a
India. It's a
culture.
moral of your.
I'm born.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
it's be
cultural
happen if
thing.
you
It's
if
not
you
a
will
moral thing.
if you
That's a
don't
cultural
want to
thing.
be if you don't want to follow the Mahabharata, if you don't want to follow anything, so you can go for the America. You will see a lot of fathers for one children. The same is
India
happens
is not
with you
about
also. If
Mahabharata.
these morals
India
will
is not
not be
about
here,
Mahabharata. India is
if
not
the
about
morals will not be
Mahabharata.
here, the same happens with you also.
India is not about Mahabharata.
It's
What are you
it's a
talking
very
about?
simple. Like I haven't read a lot for the Mahabharata. I have some basic knowledge about the
You
Mahabharata. So
you
that's why I'm
haven't
saying
read
about
that and you're talking about Mahabharata.
that. But
Haven't read
I
anything.
know that.
If I'm born in a
Yeah.
culture, what if the culture follows? I'm gonna follow that. There is a morality. That is a culture. If I'm born in America, then I will have that kind of open-minded culture. I'm gonna have sex with anyone. But India is not like that. Then that's why I'm not like this. Simple.
So you are not
Where the
like you are
morality comes.
claiming I don't be claim any type of religion.
What are you saying? What's the question?
So, but we are morality of the like of your God. If you would will be like born in America, so you will get a morality of the
I'm
them
saying
like all their like what their things are. I don't know what they are thinking about, what they God of there. So they will be follow of their type of religion. So
if you're not criminal, you're gonna follow the culture and rules.
what
What other people are following in your society. If you're not wanna kill anybody and other people are not killing, they are good people. You're gonna be good people if you're not want to kill anybody. That's you're just following the culture. Where morality comes from here. I don't understand it.
okay. So like actually I haven't read a lot of this Mahabharata. Firstly, I will read that. I will able to give the answer for it. But the morality this comes because you are getting a like how you follow the religion. Like you are saying the morality is not coming from the India. Like it's not coming by the Mahabharata. So on this time we
I'm just
also
saying it's
follow that.
culture.
The India is all like running from the
India is
more
not
like the more
Mahabharata. India is not
morality of
Mahabharata.
the
What are you talking about this? India has a lot
Mahabharata
of
or this
things.
type of
There is a lot of Sufi culture in India. There are a lot of other things also exist. India is not about Mahabharata only. That's what I'm saying.
country because you are living in India. You are following the Hindu
Philosopher, I
religion.
don't know.
So it means like it's a morality that's coming from like it's coming from generation from generation.
Okay. I muted him, I hope. I'm not sure. Okay. I think there's a problem with the connection.
Yeah, I can't hear.
Hello.
Okay, you're back. Did you know that you had a connection problem, Bold?
Yeah, I know. Like sometimes I'm getting a breaking point.
Didn't activate this. Yeah, so what's the main topic?
No, he was saying like from a book he got his morality.
You guys, morality from where?
From a book.
Okay.
From a
I'm,
religious book.
I haven't said it's about only one book. I haven't said that. Yeah, I'm saying this is by like you are saying the morality how it's come. The morality is coming from the this like books like that is written by their God.
Morality comes from your
But
surroundings.
no. Like surroundings, how the surrounding is comes in your country.
No,
How
if your father and mother is
how
toxic
how
and
the
they're
surrounding
beating
is
you
comes.
every day,
First, tell me like
your
how the
morality
surrounding is
will behave like
defining
this,
of
you're
your
gonna
country.
kill others.
Yeah.
What defining? I'm saying if your father and mother is toxic and they're beating you every day, do you think you're gonna be a good person because of a book?
where you are just going through this topic. I
No,
don't know what's like
I'm just
what
saying,
we are talking about.
just saying your surrounding
Morality is a
gives you the
byproduct of
morality.
your vicinity, my brothers.
That's what I'm saying actually.
Yeah. Morality is more or less
Please,
inherited by your, close ones that you live around.
yeah, unless you're a psychopath, that's a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah. This is all the beliefs and attribute that you inherited is all it's your like parents or more or your friends.
Yes.
It's not all about their books and all the scriptures that has already been
Anything,
written.
anything. Yeah, yeah. True.
It would have been
I
like
think,
that, and there is no like psychopath killers, no serial killers. Serial killers and all these stuffs are found in every kind of world, any kind of religion that you would live in.
and a lot of psychopaths and serial killers are actually heavily tortured by their parents or like they.
Absolutely, the repercussions of their upbringing would become like this.
Yeah, that's gonna define your morality.
Yeah, I think you might have seen one of the documentaries on like Netflix. It is available on Netflix called Manhunters.
I heard about it.
Yeah, it describes the psychology of a criminal. Although their parents and their all the acquaintances are so religious, they are on the way towards God, still he become a psychopath killer.
Can I talk?
Yeah, please.
I think morality in religion books is given by humans, and I think it is a branch of philosophy, morality, which is being hijacked by religion.
Yeah, absolutely
Am I-
correct.
No, we
I
created
think
morality because we want to run
Because
the
all the
society.
scriptures has already been created by human all the way.
I think morality is like a philosophy, but
Yeah.
but people think that it is a religion. So like this, I think.
So anything else to the morality what you get when you are religious apart from morality?
Apart from
You hate
morality,
other religion people. That you got. I think.
Yeah.
Because you don't see other person as a human.
Yeah,
You
I
see other
think so
person as a
blasphemy.
different
You get
religion.
blasphemy.
True. Yeah, you what religion says like we connect people. We have but I feel they are actually dividing the people. If you think everyone is human, we are from the same species, then we don't have any divide.
Yeah,
We
manifestation
we can
is
stay as a global
primitive.
family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the manifestation of humans is primitive. It's applicable to all human being around the world. There is no difference at all.
Yeah, but we're gonna think like I'm Hindu, you're Islam, you're Muslim, you're
Yeah.
Christian. I'm gonna fight with you. That is the thing, no? That divide people, actually.
A lot of genocide has already been happened due to this religion shit.
Yeah, yeah. Currently, we're seeing it, no?
Yeah,
Because of that reason only, because of religion only.
absolutely. I don't want the people to be like atheists, but at least they have a conscious mind that what is wrong and right. I'm not against any religion at all.
Yeah, there's no point. We
Yeah.
are not some like another cult.
Yeah, I
We
don't
want
want to form
to.
another cult
Yeah,
to
true.
whom I can, rule. I don't want to be like
Yeah,
that.
it's just a simple question. We don't believe your God. That's it. We don't believe that
Religion
exists.
all are supposed to be, made to make life more beautiful and comfortable, but it is
Yeah.
just 180-degree rounded nowadays.
Yeah, I can understand when we used to be hunter gatherers. That time we need religion because we need to grow the society and stuff. But right now there's no point. We already have constitution, like we have our rule books, we have
Absolutely,
our surrounding
absolutely.
who will teach us morality and everything. We don't need any kind of religion right now. It's complete waste.
It has been written according to the people back then, but now we are grown up. We have all our intuitions that how we gonna live our life. Back then,
And
we
the
don't have
problem
that,
is,
resources, all these stuffs, information, lack of information. That's why the scriptures are being written.
and the problem is, all the religious people says their morals comes from some book or God. So if you're saying that book and God, you understand that everything is verified now, you understand that is a lie, then suddenly you're gonna become evil because. But as an atheist, you are moral because you are a human. You care for other humans. That's why you're moral. That is more sensible compared to you're just believing in some God.
Yeah.
And that's how morality can be hijacked. But I think I'm enough for today.
I think like that morality is hijacked by like religion. Actually, it is a part of philosophy that was hijacked. So yeah.
True.
So uh, there is one thing that really triggers me, that like we are humans. Humans are not just animals. We think, we feel, create, love. So and even we question our existence. So we build the civilization, explore the universe. So I think it feels very strange to many people that something so conscious and advanced could come into existence by chance, without a higher cause, without intention or without any purpose. So what about that? Is there any reason behind our creation?
Well, first of all, why we call it creation? Maybe this is not a creation.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think any reason behind like our
Existence.
yeah, existence? Because we have consciousness that is like, I feel like that is very strange thing that human only have this thing.
So what? I mean, there are other strange things also. For example, I cannot burn someone if I touch, but fire can burn things. So it's also strange, right? But we can see strange things, or we can say that, oh, this is strange. Yeah, humans have the consciousness, but humans don't have other things. For example, birds are so strange for me also. They can fly. Other animals cannot fly, including humans, right? So this is also strange, don't you think so? But what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It means we have that, they don't have it, and we don't have many things that they don't have.
Okay, means you are saying that it is a product of nature, just
I'm not saying even that, but
like it. Okay, so what you want to say?
what I want to say, something can feel like it's strange to you. You may not be
Mhm.
you may not be explaining that. Okay, it's okay. But just because you're not able to explain that, that doesn't mean it has been created by someone. There can be a lot of causes of that thing, but the only thing remains as fact, which is you don't know what is the cause. Okay? Since you don't know what is the cause, your feelings are not important here when deciding what is the cause. So, like, feeling that is strange is just a feeling. Okay? That's not an argument. That's not an evidence for God.
This
And
can't be
as I
reason
showed
behind
you,
God.
maybe it's the reason behind, but that doesn't mean it is the reason. There can be other reasons, right? Maybe all causes are natural. We don't know. I mean, we that's what we observe, by the way. But No, I'm not certainly claiming that. But, oh, okay, maybe God exists. Then everything is different. Okay, so
So means
but
this
to
can't
be
be
able
reason
to,
behind God existence.
this can be what?
I said you are saying that this can't be reason behind God existence like that.
I didn't say this can't be. This can be. That's what I'm saying. But that doesn't mean it's necessarily God. There can be a lot of reasons behind. Okay. What I'm trying to say, just because you're unable to explain clearly, that can mean a lot of things, not only one thing. Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
Hello.
how are you today?
You're okay. How about you?
I am great. Thank you for asking.
Your audio
We
is
are
too low.
What? I'm sorry?
The audio is too low, and you have an echo.
Uh-huh.
Two problems.
Okay.
Yeah, you should fix them. So what we were saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear the echo.
Still echo. Refresh your
It doesn't solve the problem always. Sometimes people are using their phone
yeah.
without
I said
headphones. Yeah, you said.
there are many scientists who think that there is a theory behind our existence that those things exist that can survive. So human is like that. I think this is a proper like explanation of that.
Explanation of what?
Explanation of human existence because we survive. That's why we exist in our.
Okay, but it's a partial explanation. It doesn't explain how we existed in the first place.
Okay, but we can say that like human exists because we can survive.
I
Those things which
understand
can
that, man. I think you don't understand what I'm saying. It explains why we survived. It doesn't explain why we existed in the first place.
but I am saying that it explains that how we survive.
Fuck, man.
I
Yes. But that's not the
yeah.
question. The question is about the existence, right? Not
Yeah,
about the survival.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but
But
the
that's the topic, right?
I am saying that the reason behind our survival is that we survive, but that is not
Why
a
we survive because we survive. That's what you're saying. Okay.
yeah.
It's tautology, but
Please,
anyway.
yeah, apology for my English because I belongs to country where English is very less spoken.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah, but I think I contributed something in your talk.
Sure, yeah. Thanks for participating, man.
Yeah, I really enjoy to like to be here.
Good, good, good. Okay. So, well, let's end it here. And I'll end the stream on YouTube.
Okay.
For all who watched it on YouTube, thanks
Yeah, I
for
also
joining.
subscribe your channel.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. You can find us on YouTube also. There'll be more live streams. There'll be more other videos. So if you like these topics already, I think you'll find something useful. Probably you'll find.
Okay.
And if you don't find, I don't know. I mean,
No, I found your channel, YouTube channel.
oh, okay. Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, see you guys. See you all. See you, Tabula. Thanks for
Thank you.
participating in the chat box on YouTube. And Rich, thanks for joining also. See you all. Bye bye.